which is easier. I mean, I had it on my laptop, but this works too.
Okay. Get the word out there that we back up.
I don't know. How do we get the word out there? Do we DM all of our subscribers?
Do we have an efficient means to do that?
Well, if they have notifications on, then when we start the stream, it would say.
Which it has. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh.
We are so here. Told you we didn't have 9 minutes of ban. We didn't even have a couple of seconds.
There's a van outside, a plumbing and heating van. It's called Aardvark Plumbing and Heating. I actually think that's kind of good, like Aardvark Plumbing. Like that works, doesn't it? Because they'd be good at like sticking their tongues down the. Wait, what do Aardvarks even do? Are they the same as anteaters? Like actually?
No, they're just weird-looking creatures.
They are very weird, aren't they? They're the kind of mammal that people just forget about because
they got
don't
like the snout of an anteater, but for no real reason. Unlike the anteater, they just did it for the fun of it.
Yeah, they're just like big. They're just big mice with snouts. There's so many mammals like that are essentially. Jesus Christ! Did you just get hit with some fucking music?
The crap out of me. Oh, Monkey sent me a message.
They're kind of just Does he want to join?
Oh, Monkey's watching
on Discord. Maybe Axis does.
Like shit. Classic Monkey.
Should I invite Axis?
Do not do that.
Why not?
He's probably doing his own thing, or he's just not doing it.
Okay, I'll move that to a new window actually.
Settings.
The control room.
Actually, the audio is not too bad.
No, I don't actually know how the audio levels are really. Yeah. Anyway, Aardvarks. They're just like one of those mammals. They're just like really just Pokemon. They're like normal type Pokemon. You know. There's a lot of mammals like that. That is
a very accurate statement.
There's a lot of mammals like... Honestly, capybaras are like the threshold of that. When most people do know what they are, but they sort of start to lean into the kind of designs that aren't like every day, you know? I think it starts at capybaras, kind of. And then everything sort of more obscure is very like normal type Pokemon-esque. Like chinchillas.
Monkey is looking for 7 hours of road core gameplay.
Oh my god!
I think you might be disappointed.
Well, they didn't put a time like cap on it, so you never know. You never know.
I really hope that like we're playing road core. I hope that's a surprise.
Oh my god! It's actually no, it's us on the spot. It's like and demonstrating playing through the demo for road core. It's barrel vision. It's like what the fuck. What do you mean?
And then all of a sudden, like, we have, like, agents burst into our rooms, like, with, like, a PC and all that shit there. Like, oh, fuck.
Oh, it's like we get swatted, but we get swatted with the, like, supplies that we need to make that happen. They come in. It's like a team, like a Formula 1 pit stop team. Like, within, like, a second, they've installed a PC and a monitor. Yeah. And we're, like, put into a chair, strapped in.
They have, like, headset on, and, and they give us, like, a script.
Oh my god,
and, like, they have a gun to our head to not, like, scream for help. Because they just broke into our fucking houses.
And the script is, like, something like, I told you all that if you didn't behave, this would happen. The reckoning has come. There will be no more mercy.
Isn't that what,
the
like,
core has gone rogue. I don't know.
Isn't that what like, the pizza guy said before he went AWOL?
Who?
Papa John. He said some shit like that. COVID occurred.
There will be a reckoning.
No word of him since. He's like
Papa John's scary, man.
The end is near. COVID strikes, and he vanishes from the face.
I don't think there's anyone who is not like a known mafia boss who has more mafia boss energy than Papa John. He looks like one. He sounds like one. He's named like one. He owns a pizza chain. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy. I think the
Hell,
only
Monkey,
competition he
calm
has
down.
is the Rizzler.
Please do not bring up the
No, the only
Rizzler in
reason I
a
do
formal
because
setting.
there's this video of him like, and someone like mentions his name on stream, and he turns around like basically on a swivel, so like forebodingly, and it's like when someone calls the mafia boss by their like full name or something.
Yeah, instead of Fat Tony, it's like, I don't know, Tony Rello.
Did I piss on my joggers?
Monkey's like, where's the Rocore stuff already? Fucking hell.
It hasn't even started yet. We got to get through an hour of other stuff first.
I mean, at least you give a shit about Survivor, right?
I think the
there's
merch could
something
be
there, at
kind of
least.
cool. Actually,
is that
given
before
how
as
that's
well?
before Roadcore, yeah. Roadcore is like at an hour in, and there's no like end point for it defined, like no defined ending for it. The segment, which is good. It doesn't mean it will be insanely long, but it does mean there's no limit as well.
Oh, he's making lies. Yeah.
They're playing the
I
shanty.
was I was watching a SNES stream the other night. I don't know why. He was just streaming.
That's fine.
And I had nothing else to watch. He is cool.
I like SNES.
And he mentions that as far as he's aware, they're probably gonna delay it. Like as far as he's aware, they're behind. But that's just like murmurs that he gets, like, as far as he's aware. So that's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I mentioned was like, is there opportunity to do one of these with no caveats? And frankly, they could, because they would still have time. They would still have the ability to, if they need to delay it, they can announce that later. And like,
well, I think
they could literally postpone the delay just in case it gets resolved. They could do it at the anniversary or in March, the next one of these. Like, genuinely,
I think launch doesn't need to be delayed, but it's probably more about the early alpha. That's like a lot more available to be delayed, because it's like they want it to at least be generally good enough. Because once they put the alpha out, they can update it less, like inherently, right? Like it's still going to be a lot and often, but still less. So they want to make sure that any quick stuff, I assume,
I'm going to turn
is like
this up
done
now.
All right.
Yeah, I can't remember what is before Roadcore. No, not before Roadcore. Sorry, before merch and publishing.
Hi, welcome to On the
Oh my
mainly
god,
just that.
the new office.
I'm Søren,
Yeah.
CEO of Ghost Ship Games.
Look at them.
I am Mikkel.
Do I need to say it?
I am CCO of Ghost Ship Games and also game director of Deep Rock Galactic and Roadcore.
Yes, that's right.
What a tiny little soul patch.
So many titles. Yes.
Who?
Yes. Oh,
Which
we're
one?
Very excited.
Mikkel.
Yeah,
obviously.
Nick has got a tiny
Tell you
amount of facial
about
hair.
all the stuff that is happening.
Yeah, he
has
can't
happened
grow
at
his
Ghost
full
Ship, but
beard, it'll be
mostly
too
looking
powerful.
forward into the future for both Ghost Ship Games and publishing.
Yes, we got a very meaty program for you today. A
Yes.
lot of information is going to be spilled.
Yes,
Thank God.
Yes. And we'll try to make it slightly tighter than usual. We'll see if we can keep up or time will slide.
I think also we are going to have more people up here.
Yes.
Normally it has been you and I who has been like sitting through the whole.
There's something about the window
ordeal.
gives this such
And
so
this
much
time
more
around,
scale.
We are actually.
They were like in a
taking people in and
dank,
out.
Yes.
dark
I
room
think a record
with like a
of
single
people
poster in the background or something like that. And now they're like,
live
I don't
It
know,
looks like a
I don't
presidential
know.
address.
We should
Not
get
really,
started with the
but
agenda.
You can see like
so,
roofs behind them. They're so high up.
what's going on. So the welcome. That's what we.
so yeah, it is quite tight actually.
And after the welcome, we are gonna
Not
move
loads of
over
segments.
To,
About like 35 minutes of
segment. I will not
dev
be part of
talks.
that.
That's
Alex
fine,
will,
'cause I think they've got,
take my seat,
Yes.
and then the two of you will.
I'm actually going to turn
talk
down a
with,
bit,
some
but
of
the one
studios
thing that I wanted to sort of
that we actually
spitball
have
about
game
beforehand is if there's another
we'll see
another
how they-
game
Yes. Yes. Including
in
a
the
nice
works.
surprise that we will start out with.
publishing side.
After that, we'll have.
This is a special
I guess
surprise.
plus a special surprise, yeah.
As you may have seen.
Very
a little bit
possible.
about this. Finally,
I mean,
the new merchandise line.
there's
It's hard to imagine
nothing.
what else, you know.
All of that is stuff that we know of. It's not like unless the surprise is one of them's coming out. But
Another special thing that will happen.
So
in
many
the
special
merchandise.
things
Yes,
is gonna happen
Oh.
today.
yeah.
Yeah, very exciting. And then, last but not least, I'm Mike, the lead designer.
Definitely not least.
Of, Deep Rock Galactic and Roadcore.
By far
He's gonna
most.
join me up here, and then we are gonna talk a lot about.
I mean, it is also state of road core. It's not literally just like look at everything in road core. It's definitely going to be a status update as well.
Yes, and I think we are gonna have a small sneak peek video from the game.
Watch how Scoot just commented on their stream saying, I know you're watching this. Bastard, get on here!
Live,
Oh, he's here, he's here. Hey guys.
Where we're gonna
Yeah.
showcase
It's cute.
enemies and
You get to
whatnot.
flex your
So, a lot of
now
stuff,
yellow barrel.
So stay tuned. for
Enemies.
that.
We're gonna have. We should have it like
And just
a
looking
the
briefly
creature
back to
counter.
This year, we had season 5 for Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, yeah?
Deep Rock Galactic came out June.
Let's start listening
before
to them.
summer, and it broke all the player records once again. And turned
Deservedly
out to
so.
be, more or less exactly what you wanted. Of course, we know you want more, and we know you are sitting out there waiting for hopefully a season 6 one day. As we announced last on the horizon, we are working on Rogue Core right now, and that means Deep Rock Galactic in general, development-wise, is on a kind of a pause, right? And there's no decision on what we'll do until we have Rogue Core in the bag.
It's all focus on Rogue Core right now.
We want to release that, of course, and I know. We announced Rogue Core, I guess, a year ago, and we were slightly optimistic on the development time.
It's crazy because this is when it should have come out originally.
At the time, we also thought that maybe we were naive in our view on that. We thought we could manage to do both seasons and work on Rogue Core at the same time, and that turned out to be almost impossible for us.
So we decided to do season 5 full on. Everybody got that out, and then focus back on Rogue Core. It means that Rogue Core is still now on target for Q4 next year.
Oh, Q4.
More on that later in this.
That's technically a reveal, by the way.
A closed alpha or something.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's October earliest.
This is also to say, if
probably
you're
when it
sitting
come
out there and hoping to see all kinds of new stuff for the original Deep Rock Galactic, it'll mostly be the merchandise part that will satisfy.
Mostly.
But we have other exciting news.
I mean, I'm not holding my breath.
This new location here, you might be able to see that the live streaming
view
looks slightly different. Basically, have a new gigantic office compared to where we came from, 3 times as big.
We were sitting
It's
in a
almost
very
big
tight
enough
space before.
for
I don't know if you
Mikkel's
have
entire
it,
mass to fit inside of.
No.
I mean, yes, you can stand up.
He just goes straight through the ceiling.
No,
No.
not yet.
No,
He
but
stands
we
up, you
have a
hear a
video.
crash,
We
and
are
just
not rolling that
debris
yet,
falls down.
because, we are just basically everyone at Ghost Ship Games are super excited about the new place, and the fact that we actually have way more space than before is just generally just makes it way more nice to go to work every day. We are still in the
I love these guys.
center of
I'm
Copenhagen.
happy that they're happy.
Yeah. So very nice location.
And the actual office, this floor we're sitting on, used to be an infamous nightclub 20 years ago. Or so.
Oh, really?
NASA, which to stay in the space theme of Deep Rock Galactic.
All right. So, Mark, are you ready with some?
So
let's
Aaron
go.
and Alex have earlier today made a walk around on the office, and we'll show that to you now, and then you can get a small feel of the new space that we have.
We're going to pick this apart frame by frame. There he is, there's Aaron.
I'm Aaron from Ghost
I
Ship
haven't seen him
Games.
before, have
We're
you?
standing here on the 5th
No.
floor terrace of the Ghost Ship Games headquarters in beautiful
He's very
Copenhagen.
American.
See what it means, a
It's a
unit.
lovely, elegant city full of places and things to see and do. But right here, there's only one place that matters, and that's the Ghost Ship Games headquarters. Here on the terrace is where we pour hot oil and throw rocks at defenders or passersby, but the real action is what happens inside. Let's take a look.
It looks cold, even though it's sunny.
It's very important to wipe your feet because the place is new.
They're quite high north, Harry. It probably is cold.
All right, so as you can see, there's some mess around from various setups as well as we're still moving in. It's a process. Over here is where we're going to have a cool streaming room. Once we get our decks together enough for that, we'll move
I assume
around.
that they are in right
This
now,
is where
though.
we eat
Mikkel and
lunch.
Soren.
Lunch is one of the 3
streaming
meals
room.
of the day, and it's a very important one. We have some gifts from other studios, which is very kind of them. We just had a housewarming party, which is a lot of fun. We've got Jacob, who's being shy. We've got a coffee machine over there. We've got tons of silverware. We've got a hand sanitizer. That's
Oh, very
not just
important.
for show. It really works. Let's take a look downstairs. Now, the cool thing about these stairs is not only can you go down,
God, his arms are
you can
huge.
also go up them as well. But today, as you can see, we're going down I don't know if you're able to see the camera, but we also have a loud corridor, or what's it called? This is an open atrium, and our neighbors are like a trivia show, and then also like a mini golf bar.
We can't go here ever because Tyler will just like hang off the side of the stairs, like upside down.
I did used to do that, yeah.
We're here on one of the third floor here. This is one of our production floors. Alex, do you have your keys on you?
I do, Aaron.
Fuck yeah, let's go check out the... Can we swear on this? I guess we are. Anyway, we've got some movement mess here, some extra screens, some tech and things like this. And in here is one of the cool pieces of hardware. Does my chip work, or does yours? My chip doesn't work. Alex, we need your chip. Got it.
Also, place is going to be nicer than people say. This is nicer than like any house.
We're not in.
It was green. What do you mean?
Is it this key? Which one is it? We rehearsed this. This was part of it.
Try the key fob again, Aaron.
Okay. We're in. All right. Anyway, there's a bunch of servers in there, and the servers are.
They can't get in though.
Piece of machinery.
To this day.
Use them to monitor each and every game you play in Deep Rocket Galactic. And right when the match is going well, that's when we spawn in a bulk detonator.
That's how Tyler dies, by the way. It's like Final Destination.
This is one of our production.
He falls down the ghost ship stairwell.
Be a big old nightclub. So this is
I can think of worse ways to go.
We've got computers and keyboards for typing on them. We got coders. I don't really know what coders do, but I guess they code.
I do.
Admin. We've got Bjorn. Bjorn does QA. Got QA and admin over here.
Bjorn.
Let's see, what else we got? We've got one balcony out there, which you can use for hanging out, catching a tan, the lifting weights, flying kites, whatever you like. Over here, and this is where I need your help. So we have this space. As you can see, we haven't really found a good solution for it, because it's like, it's cut. The ceiling's weird. It's
Abyss bar, obviously.
Anyway, to all of you out there, if you're watching this, please leave a comment with any ideas on what we can use this for, because honestly, we don't have a clue. All right. Use your keys back, by the way.
I'm gonna have to leave a comment.
Already done.
Now, earlier I was talking about the stairs that you can go
We're
both
both
up and
there.
down. This one actually works the exact same way. And today
Add
we
barrel
use it to
vision.
go up. We're heading up onto one of the other production floors, which is a much sunnier
Look at his
one,
ass, man.
and especially
Yeah, that is an ass. That is,
I mean, you even noticed as well.
As you can see,
It's because he's got his shirt tucked in.
and
Like,
try and narrate this video,
can tell
it's
he's
directly
showing
in
off.
my eyes. So I'm going to move slightly into the shadows, and we can get this big view of the floor. We've got all my colleagues who are so happy. Hey, colleagues! Say hi!
what's that? What's on that screen? That's a
Thanks,
desktop.
colleagues.
Screensaver.
Mike back there.
So,
I recognize him. It's probably the only one.
This is marketing. This is my desk, where I type and post Steam blogs and stream from.
It's with the lotion,
What
Aaron.
else we got going on?
Eric, your email is probably on one of those screens.
Artists sit up here, programmers, coders, things like that.
He sits down. It's like, here's an email from some fucking idiot.
We're gonna go up the fire with something else. Alex, do you have the keys for this so we don't get it locked out?
I mean, I've technically been inside the ghost ship office in that way.
This, I'll show you. Chat, this is a fun one. If you want to go
Yeah, the way where that isn't the way at all.
know this, you can pull this lever, and it's a go home early button. Pretty cool feature.
Oh yeah.
So this leads up to the helipad.
Cool.
Every ghost ship employee has a helicopter that gets them at their house and flies us to work each morning. It used to be a fire escape, but now we've built that. All right, now we're going back up here, and if I can get this key to work, I said if I can get.
Why is the
this key to
camera so
work,
low?
We got it, baby. We've come back full circle onto the 5th floor. Let me close this door. And yeah, that's the new digs. We moved in here in late August.
It's actually massive.
What, November? So we're still getting settled in. We're super happy for it. And I guess that's time. So let's go on to the rest of the segment. Thanks, Chet.
Oh,
Thanks, Aaron.
that was a nice tour. I think he was understating it a little bit how cool the place is.
Yes. No, that was a cool tour.
Yeah.
Good to see everything on camera like that. So now you have a little bit of an idea about this new amazing office that we have.
But now we are moving on to our next Ghost Ship Publishing segment.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave you until we're going to talk about Rogue Core later.
Pardon me.
And I'm going to welcome Alex here. So, bye for now.
Bye, Mikkel. And
Thank you, Mikkel.
welcome to you, Alex.
Thank you.
Alex
Thanks,
Skronsky,
Søren,
I
it's great to be
believe
here.
is his name.
And hi, everyone out here. Some
Head
of
of
you might
publishing.
already know me. I'm Alex, head of publishing over here at Ghost Ship Publishing.
Look at that
we announced,
paper
a little over
adjustment.
A year ago, I think it is now.
A year and a half.
A year and a half ago.
Time flies.
It feels like much longer.
Yeah.
So we released our first 2 games 10 months ago.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
A little over
February
10.
this year.
Yeah.
Spell Rogue and Deep Rock Survivor.
Yeah. It's been a very busy 2024.
And Alex, next year will be busier.
This is
Well,
great.
I guess it would be,
you
wouldn't
are
it?
on the team there.
Absolutely. That's so. Me and Søren and Mikkel have been running Ghost Ship Publishing for a while. We're now 4 people in Ghost Ship Publishing, and we are getting a lot of stuff to do. We have 5 announced projects that you probably already know by now.
Rogue Core's technically Ghost Ship
we're ready
Publishing.
to announce another one.
There you go.
Yes.
Let's see the
Let's
trailer.
see the new game.
That was easy. The creature. They're beans. Of course it's a fucking roguelike.
Oh, fuck.
I think I've heard this music before. Like a... Voting. Mr. Bang.
Everyone's called Karen.
I know. It's a penis.
I mean, it really does
It's
look
really
like a
that's not good, is it?
foreskin creature.
Stick together, fight together, dick together, die together. Sorry. The creature. The
Oh,
That is
Creature counter.
so cool. I love this game so much.
Oh,
And
the
of course,
gameplay
welcome
actually
to
looks better
welcome
than the
to Martin
trailer.
and Lars from GameSwing.
I actually prefer that.
You can be here. Martin and Lars,
Thank you very
we
much, Alex.
we played this game a bunch while it's still in development over here at Ghost Ship. But could you please tell everybody who's watching?
There's only room
What
for
is
one
Contact
co-op
Wolf?
roguelike from Ghost Ship Publishing.
Yes, of course. Thank you so
Apparently
much
there's
for
not.
inviting us.
No,
and,
there's room for more than that.
I will present the game a little bit. It's an online co-op Doomsday roguelike. And you
Lars.
play as a group of preppers that have been preparing for this their whole life.
It
So
was
this disaster
Be
is
publishing like 50% of like
you
games coming from there.
kind of
Like,
going out.
where they're from again? Denmark, right?
Denmark,
Or
yeah.
Norway? Yeah, Denmark. Probably like publishing like most of the games that come from Denmark at this point.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is kind of like Nuclear Throne meets Left 4 Dead, where there's a heavy emphasis on the teamwork, and you gotta both play well individually, but you also have to keep making sure your team is doing well. Yeah, you don't want to stick in the levels too long because then you get overrun by mutants.
It's-
See, but
if there
you
wasn't
also
aiming,
wanna
this
stick
would
around
be
long enough
a Survivor.
for you to
Like-
Yeah. Oh, it's also like it
to
looks
make
like
it
it'd be so
through
much easier
the
with a
whole game
mouse.
to the final boss.
Yeah.
Martin wants to talk a little bit more about this risk-reward balance there is in the game.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Lars. So yeah, on the surface level, as you can see, it's
I don't know if I should be taking notes. The only thing so far obviously would be like the
shooter,
quarter
right,
four thing,
with
but
almost
still.
arcadey style. And in order to make sure that there's also a little bit more meat in the game, we are working a lot with the relationship between the risk and reward. So as Lars mentioned, there's a timer in the level that gradually makes each mission more and more difficult over time. And then the players on their toes have to decide as a group, how bold should we be, how many objectives should we go for, how many grades should we go for, and so on and so forth. And in order to keep up with the rising difficulty, they need to sort of be bold, but if they're too greedy, then they will fail and die, right? So that's just one of the way we work with the risk and reward.
Both enthusiasm is astounding.
Another way is we have a mutation system.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the accent, I would have thought he was British.
Missions, the players will have
because he's given off the aura of
He looks
grey.
British, doesn't he?
Sometimes
Yeah.
small things like become tougher. Or
Sorry
they can
about
get
that,
new
mate.
Abilities, or they can sometimes evolve into abilities altogether. So there's like a bunch of different opportunities. This decision is also offset by benefits for the players, right? So sometimes it's immediate benefits. It could be like replenishing the team's health, which is an immediate benefit. But then it could also be longer-term things that might be bigger benefits but require more risk, to say. So that's sort of how we work and make sure that there's a lot of interesting, non-trivial decisions while there's a lot of action as well.
That's really, really cool. And we have played it a bunch here, and we of course know co-op shooters. We make a very popular one as well. We've had a lot of fun playing in co-op, Søren.
Yeah, and it's.
I think honestly, I'm excited for Dark Swarm partially because it's not a roguelike.
As you can see,
I'm assuming it's not.
You need to coordinate your actions.
It's actually the news. It's turning into a roguelike now.
Video that you get these small ticks.
So it's DRG
right? And then
original.
to support each other.
Somehow.
Shoot me,
Fuck
shoot
it.
me,
Shoot me,
please,
get
please,
some
guys,
help.
shoot.
Untick me.
Martin, how long have you been working on this? Where are you in the development here, and when can we expect this to release?
I mean, it looks pretty.
Yeah, so we've been working on this a little over
nourished.
a year, and we expect to be ready to early access release this late Q1 25 or early Q2 25. So it's around that window that we deem it ready to.
I like the profile pictures
How
being
many
there.
is,
It's always fun.
On Gun Touchables?
We're 6 members working on it right now. So
God.
we're a really lean team, but
Yeah.
a really nicely scoped project as well. Everything is systemic, and it's very easy to sort of fill new content into this, and it will just sort of expand the realm of possibilities. So it's a super cool project to work on, and I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and only more fun the longer we.
It's already
keep
fun.
working.
It's all very very fun, and I absolutely love the concept of playing as a prepper. that just is so excited about this apocalypse coming by. Martin and Lars, for people that want to follow along on what you're doing with Gun Touchables and when it's coming out, and maybe if they can play a demo or something before that, do you have a Discord? Where do they go to follow you and connect with you? And
we have a Discord server where if you can follow along, and we'll try to be a little better to update. We've been very busy preparing for this.
He looks
segment,
British. My God,
in
you've just
general,
killed that
but
man
we'll
live on
probably
stream.
take a little more
Sorry.
time to update what's going on. And,
The moment that like reaches them, like latency wise, that like those words, even though they can't hear it, he just immediately just like his brain explodes. He just falls backwards.
He just like turns to ash midstream.
Maybe consider wishlisting as well if you find the game interesting. That will be super helpful for us at least.
absolutely wishlist.
Honestly, the only thing I don't like
I'm
about
not
it
just
is the
saying it because
beam.
I'm publishing it.
This.
I've had a lot
I think
of
that's
fun
it.
playing with.
Otherwise, it looks alright.
Just from
Yeah,
what
because the
design
creatures,
is,
like the enemy designs, don't inherently imply that the
over the
player
time.
characters would look like that.
And by wishlisting and following, of course, you will also.
I mean, they're
get,
obviously quite round, but
the demo, the playtest.
But like, the big one there, it's got
I don't
like
know.
it doesn't have stick legs, for example.
Future, of course. So as you can see, the
Yeah.
game is really very playable as it is, and there's not long to. We need to get some of you in to help GameSwing hone the fine details on this.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for dropping by and showing us this new game, and we'll talk more and show more of this on the other side of in the beginning of the new year, for sure.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for having
thank
us
you so
on.
much
We're
for
really
having
happy
us.
to join the family.
Absolutely. We're glad you're
the only probably sad thing is that they might have a solid crossover with Rogue Call's release, early access stuff.
And you
So
announced
it might actually
Well,
lose out quite a bit.
Alpha
doing that.
only.
And of course, that's maybe what you should do when
They
you're
said it would launch in early access quarter 1 or quarter 2.
You're publishing early access games.
Yeah,
these
yeah.
Games are,
Which is about
we're looking for
Yeah,
what
pre-
they said for
For the alpha.
Rogue Call.
So it basically means that whenever we put in a new
Sure, but it's the same thing.
Have you ever played Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades?
For a long time, so
No, I haven't.
bit hesitant on adding new projects.
And
apparently it's quite similar.
About us being busy, the developers themselves are doing a lot in terms of getting this game not just done but also published. And it's great working with people like GameSwing and the rest of the developers who are so excited about going through this journey and getting their games into the hands of people.
But speaking of
quite relevant, but I've seen a guy in the chat this whole time. I think he's just trying to get back into the DLG Discord because he was complaining about being banned like ages ago before the stream, and I'm just seeing him like, is there any way to appeal to the DLG Discord?
Alright, quite you everyone.
Hello from their office. Hello everyone. And
She looks a lot better than I remember it.
Joined the team. You expanded your team.
Like visual wise.
Yeah, we made a huge change. Hired a third person after.
Look, it's Hat Films.
But, yeah, we've been really happy with the.
Only because it's 3 of them. That's the only reason I said that.
Oh my god.
What?
Thorbjorn.
And they got the right thing, Paul. Paul October.
Super fun project to join. It's a game that I already love playing a lot.
They got names right over there.
Just in the north in general, I feel like.
Is that shirt the dude in the middle?
Yes, so it was.
I swear that's Slave Aspire.
Yeah,
like, that is not.
That guy on the left is wearing the only Spell Rogue shirt in existence.
I love the genre.
What about literally the one in the background? It's one literally back there.
He's wearing the only other Spell Rogue shirt in existence. I didn't see that.
Goship Publishing are of course also very happy that you're here, Paul, because it's been awesome working with Tim and Thorbjorn, and they've been very busy this 2024 year. They released about 10 months ago, and I think you did 5 updates. No, I know you did 5 updates in that time, and they weren't small updates. They were some pretty.
Well, they've been working. I mean, if you like Spell Rogue, I bet you're happy.
Is there anything like? Is there anything you want to call out?
I mean, I assume it's doing all right.
Yeah, it probably is.
Sorry, one again.
Fortunately, it doesn't interest us at all.
That you've done here over the past 10 months.
Yeah, we've been busy just adding all kinds of stuff, like mechanics, features, new content. Like one of the big ones recently has been like increasing, or improving the difficulty system. We now call it the descent system. And we also just added like things.
Oh, okay. I've got a pop-up for chat,
so
I can just have it
spells in different ways.
on the left.
It's
that's pretty good.
System,
is that
what we're calling it?
No, that's perfect.
Did some major changes to the ritual systems.
Actually, I'll tell you what I can probably do with that.
System that you just like slowly build up.
You can put chat on screen actually.
A lot more.
That's so streamer.
And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of.
You got face cam on.
Mechanics that we have just improved over time and just.
Oh my god! Yeah, there you are.
Didn't feel.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, this is about to get even better when I put that below there.
Yeah.
You also got a lot of people into play it, right? You also got a lot of people into play it over early access and give feedback and interact with it. And I guess you didn't plan out all of these updates like this.
Look at that.
Following early access.
It's been very.
It's quite haphazard, but
the community. We of course have had a rough idea of like what elements we wanted to bring to the game.
And we always had a huge backlog of ideas, like from years back, that we wanted to do at some point. So as soon as early access was
that means I shouldn't have to switch tab to talk and just stay on the
had in mind. So
this one, main one.
We've been adding a ton of stuff.
Which is also great. By having Pau here is awesome. Yeah. Just so
in the future, that chat will be better integrated, I think. But
of course, we also, as you can see,
I do have to make the pop-up manually every time, though, I suppose.
We just every update has also added a ton of new spells and artifacts and mutators. So we just keep adding more things into the game. It's a game like ours is just more fun if there's more opportunities, more variety in each run. So yeah.
So the game has 3 characters right now: Earth and Water and Fire. Aren't we missing one?
Yes, we are. We need one more element. So yeah. So just to talk about like the new things coming in the full release.
The 4th element, love.
So yeah, one of the major features is adding the air character, the one that we've been teasing about, which we. But I think Pau has been the main driver behind that.
I starting to flesh out this because, of course, the air character Tim and Torbjorn, they wanted the fourth character since forever, I think. So there's just this huge backlog of ideas for this character that I have been filtering through and saying like what is good and what is not, and what could be fun, and I'm trying out a lot of new things now, and yeah, but it's this it's the air character, of course. So we're trying to do something where it's a flying character that has like makes lightning and is a bit swifting between different phases of attacks, and so like a very fast and aggressive character, but one that can also swift its move, sort of yoga or meditative in that sense. And yeah, I think it's and some of the mechanics we try to do with this is then where
I can't help but notice it's been the same fight against a giant buried skeleton the entire time.
And you can make conjure up lightning as you as a resource that you can both use as sort of electricity for some other spells, so you can just have it blast off once it's charged enough on other enemies. Is sort of the things we're exploring. So it's there's a ton of fun things there, I think.
We're very much looking forward to playing it ourselves. We've been playing Spellwork quite a lot, some more than others.
Not tried the new character yet.
No.
So looking forward to that. So when is Spellrogue done? I mean, there'll be a 1.0 at some point in the future, right?
Yeah. So our plan at the moment is releasing around March next year. That's the loose plan. But yeah, we're really.
Well, it will be a busy year.
But, it might be a.
Given
Plus
that,
minus.
given that there are 3 people on the team, it might be March-ish launch plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Wait, that's the entire team.
The fans
Is it?
of Spellrogue absolutely also do. It's been super excited.
I think he just said 3 people.
Could be.
Tim, Torbjorn, and Pau. And also really excited to get to play everything that's going to come in 1.0. Thank you so much for joining us here this time.
It definitely seems fishy because I'm pretty sure that the Survivor team is the biggest one.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That was Spellrogue.
But they're in like Ghost Ship's very first office
About
as well.
A year ago, we
Survivor
announced
guys.
Game Dino Lords, which is essentially well, maybe we should let Mikael and Frederick from Northplate tell in themselves again. Most of you probably already know Dino Lords, but it's such a cool project.
It is. So let's see if we have our friends from Northplay joining us here.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Frederick.
Hi.
Great that you're here. Yeah, I absolutely love Dino Lords, and so does my 12-year-old son. He's already a huge fan, even though the game is not out.
I just think that logo is just
to
fire.
pitch
Like,
a game for
genuinely.
you, but I don't think I'm gonna do it justice.
It's such a good logo.
Could you let everybody know what Dino Lords is?
Yeah. Sure. It's a hybrid between an action RPG and a real-time strategy game set in medieval England. You play as the British and you defend against the Danes. It's a historically accurate game where the Danes, of course, ride dinosaurs.
I remember that.
Game.
Yeah, as they did.
Of course.
Yes. We're watching some footage right now from the latest builds. We have progressed a lot on several fronts, and there's a bunch of things going on right now. One of the biggest things is sort of like us exploring this intersection between.
I'm surprised how dynamic the like the one
and
like the
strategy.
active
And,
character
you just saw us, like,
controls
pick up some
look.
units, holding down the command
The one that he's
button.
controlling.
We call that the warband system. That's been sort of a new development, which we really like. We've got some city building going on in the.
Yeah, a lot of things been happening too. We are.
Also looks like it is fully 3D.
Into what base building.
So the camera can
is
change
in this
at any angle.
game.
It almost
And,
looked symmetric when we
have
first saw
this,
it.
Idea about everything
Yeah.
being physicalized in the world. So when you cut down a tree, you get a log, you take that to the base, and then you use that log to make a building, and you can kind of follow all the resources around in the base as you are progressing, right? But that's only like that's just the system or the fancy about it. Now we are really getting into like what should this building do, and how can you upgrade buildings,
of course,
and what buildings can you then build after that.
You can also ride dinosaurs. That's usually the first question we get in this game. Yes, you can ride dinosaurs.
That took a while, I would say.
Yeah,
that took a little while.
Yes.
We kept poking you.
So here you see the Lord riding a raptor. Of course, that gives you an immediate mobility benefits of like being able to easily get around the battlefield. You can even take your raptor up on the ramparts, on the walls. Here we're defending against some Danes trying to break through our walls. Quickly, let's repair those walls and see if we can prepare. Oh God, no! There's a T-Rex trying to get through our walls there. So here it's like a last stand.
The framiness of their footage isn't doing it much any favors.
We still have, like, as you see, there's like these buttons down in the left hand corner, like abilities, kind of like what you know from a game like Diablo. So you kind of have this merger between
so this
RPG
it's
and
level based.
game. That's basically what it is.
Like you're going to be put in a setting with context, and then you survive and win. Which
hopefully we'll have like custom
we're trying to invent a new
multiplayer still, but.
But it
should be.
Well, yeah, but it's still multiplayer anyway, isn't it? Even that part of it. The whole thing is co-op, technically.
I think the initial response when we showed it off to people was it's Age of Empires with dinosaurs, and it's so much more than that. It's great.
It's so much better than Age of Empires.
That RPG presence that you have with your character in the game, being a Dino Lord. And I remember back when we announced Dino Lords, we were talking a lot about the title. Should it be like Dino Lords or should it be like Dino Capital Lords? And I think the argument for the title was that it's like a warlord. You're kind of a Dino Lord, and it kind of clicked for me. There is yes, that's the.
I agree.
I am a Dino Lord in this game.
Yeah,
that's who I am.
You have this you have like this power of fantasy infused with like medieval times, basically, right? What would that look like? And we have some art here up on the screen. We are sort of fleshing out the world and the lore and everything. And we have this wonderful artist named Pablo Hidalgo. He does these amazing drawings, kind of bringing this world to life. So as we are also exploring exactly what mechanics to put into the game, we're also, I think, making a vibrant world that you can kind of get lost in.
Yeah, and also kind of exploring some of the references that we all like. Of course, we are all inspired by 1990 strategy games and action RPGs.
I'm really slowly cropping the chat thing to get rid of the learn more box
through, and then
from YouTube.
And then it said, if you want to do
you
this,
can see it very gradually disappearing.
Whatever, and kind of exploring how this world feels and looks.
Yeah, I love this one.
These drawings are like right up there with
jousting knights on raptors. Like generally, we kind of have this thing during development called like the rule of cool. Like if it's cool, it goes into the game, right? And that's been working out for us really well, I think.
You've been working on some new units, right, as well?
Right, yes. Let's get to some Jankosaurus. Yes. So this is the Stegosaurus.
If you type a message, it goes away.
This is full of jank, by the way. The real game dev, right? A large siege unit that sort of has to, like, it lumbers over and has to sit down, and then it fires these things.
Damn it.
Try to kind of navigate around it, but it has this tail that swings and kind of knocks you down. We have a new subsystem in the game with armor. So it has armor on one side and it has a softer side on the other side. So positioning is really important. You have to get your forces to the other side of this thing. You don't want to be on the
holy shit, dino jousting. Oh, I wasn't looking.
Exploding arrows.
That is a great idea.
That's the Oh yeah, then you want to do this one?
Yeah, I can.
That's gonna be a Dilo, isn't it?
That's the name. We just call it Dilo in engine and
Nerd.
So that's what I call it. So this is like a.
Unfortunately, I actually really need the toilet.
It's a ranged
and it's
dinosaur.
probably the best time to
go.
Exactly.
Can't really shoot a bow into a ranged unit.
I'll be back soon.
We got inspired by other
popular media with dinosaurs.
Other popular media with dinosaurs, and created this kind of tire spitting dinosaur.
We have some footage of it.
Some footage of it. Also full of jank in editor, but they can kind of spit these pools onto the ground. And in these pools, every unit passing through is slowed, which kind of adds this interesting dynamic because movement is paramount for combat in this game. Positioning yourself and moving around the battlefield is what wins you a battle.
They're also super coy. Like if you hit them, like it's gonna run away, which makes it really annoying to fight against
Sounds
when
so
you're
annoying.
It is super
annoying. Yeah,
and especially in combination with other units like the big Stegosaurus. This one will then shoot down a blob of tar, and then you're slowed, and then the Stego just comes in with a ballista, and you explode, and it's glorious.
Yeah, we're really exploring. Yeah, we're exploring like unit composition right now. We have like a combat scene where we're just smashing toys together and seeing what works and what doesn't. We have one more. I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the Compy. It is a tiny dinosaur, and it just swarms you completely.
Oh god, the compies. Oh god.
Yeah, kind of.
It looks like we are currently receiving delivery of a lot of wood.
A girl on a beach with some small dinosaurs. These are those dinosaurs. And they just swarm your units, and you really don't want to get bogged down because they just completely destroy you. So those are fun to fight against. You need something that destroys a lot of dinosaurs in one go. But yeah, we are just busy. There's so much game that we're working on right now.
Cool. This is awesome to see, and you're still hard at work on getting to early access. There's still a good way for you to that point, right?
That's Downloads feels like one that should have really like been in early access by now.
We're
because it just looks
for Q3 next year.
Really done, and it's even then that's
we're also very much aware that we are trying something new here, and there's not a lot of other games where we can reference. And be like, oh, they solved it this way. So we're definitely game development wise, we're threading over some new ground, trying to figure out how to make these systems work in a way. We want to make a game that you can play for hundreds of hours here. But we think it's coming along really nicely.
Cool, very nice to see all the development that's going on at North Play with Dino Laws. Thank you, Michael and Frederik, for visiting our little stream here, and we'll see more of Dino Laws in the future.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys, and bye, everyone.
Bye.
And now on to something Deep Rock Galactic related. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Yeah, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
The one I played.
Done by Funday Games here from Denmark. We released Deep Rock Galactic Survivor in February. This year, and it became an instant hit, basically, which we're, of course, very happy to see. It's also a really, really good game, and very addictive game.
I remember that week, so we released Spell Rogue on a Monday, and we released Deep Rock Galactic Survivor on a Wednesday.
That was a busy week.
That was a very busy week, but awesome energy, and of course it became an instant hit. And the team has been hard at work ever since they went into early access.
Added on several big updates with substantial extension to the gameplay. We keep seeing gameplay time from average time spent on this game from the fans just rising and rising and rising, and people returning to the game each time a big update rolls out, and the game is starting to kind of become a whole, right? And there's a lot of things to cover when you start in early access. You know you're not done, and Funday have been doing a tremendous job plotting their way towards a 1.0, which will of course eventually happen. We're not ready to talk much about the content of 1.0 yet. Also, we don't really have Funday on the stream directly here, but we'll get to that in a moment because we did do something.
We did do something
recently with Deep Rock Survivor.
So after Funday did their last update here in late October, they introduced a bunch of challenges and mutators, and we thought here at Ghost Ship, what better way to showcase that feature than making an esports event?
Oh yeah, right, I forgot about that.
If you were a bug, but holy cow, we're gonna need to see it. We're taking hits here. Oh, good.
What an idiot!
That's a big explosion.
Rookie mistake.
This round is going to be what determines the semifinals bracket. The competitor here is going to be the final one to lock it in as we're going on and turning up the heat to a next level of competition here at the Invitationals. Mark, I'm going to take you to a place you've never been.
Except like they're like probably the opposite.
Unfortunate end for Jabberwock
like
to be knocked out so quickly in it, but of course they don't call it the ultimate survivor for nothing. It's wow, Hooli Hoarder spotted there.
You're judging the book by its cover there, Tyler.
This is what that rock and stone spirit is all about.
Yes.
It's not only your athletic abilities, it's not only how fast you are on the keyboard, but it's of course your mindset.
Circling back to gobble up that XP.
Yep. Don't know why you made such deep eye contact when you said it like that, Mark, but we'll go for it. There is only one run. There is only one moment that counts, and that is now. The only step that matters is the one in front of you, Mark. Flamethrower as well as a cryo cannon. Oh, wow. What? Good heavens.
Meanwhile,
I don't believe it.
Cup.
You look away for a second and you see Idle Cup down at a score of 40,000. Mark, we're seeing it live right now. This is the determining factor here. Idle Cup is down with a score of 40,000. Farham at 49,000. This is it. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner. We have our World Heavyweight Championship title winner here at the Invitationals.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah! That was so fun to do. And in the meantime, while that was happening, Deep Rock Galactic Survival was actually nominated for a Golden Joystick, and that was why we're not joined by Funday to talk about the update, because right now they're in London.
They're too busy getting drunk.
Into the Golden Joystick event. As what are they nominated for again?
Best early access game.
Best early access game
in a small category where they will surely win against a very weak competition of games.
Yeah, we need not say more.
No.
And we're of course going to congratulate them, because on the call we're joined by Jacob and Rasmus from Funday in London, almost ready to go into Golden Joystick. Jacob and Rasmus, best of luck going into Golden Joystick, but you of course don't need it.
We're crossing boundaries, crossing the oceans.
We got it. We got this in the bag.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easy. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Hopeful.
Also, that guy does look like a dwarf.
Yeah, I mean, we trust the Deep Rock community.
Hey, that is a beard.
I know, it's a proper beard.
I expect London and the Golden Joystick Awards is going to be full of Deep Rock fans, so I don't think...
Do you agree the beards look better with, like, white streaks or grey streaks? They do.
Right.
Jacob, thanks so much for calling in. Best of luck with Golden Joystick. Enjoy your time there, and we'll see you when you're back in Scandinavia.
We will. Look at your pictures.
Rock and Stone,
guys.
Rock and
Stone.
All right, they were hopeful at least.
They were.
So they will surely win. It's in the bag, I guess.
Hope is all we need, but we have so much more going for us here with Deep Rock Galactic Survivor at the Golden Joysticks.
Yes. So our final segment in the Ghost Ship Publishing.
No, yeah, they're going to go over time a bit.
Rogue Core is also published by.
We have a portfolio of 6 games now.
Yeah. So, but we need to check in, of course, also with Bitfire Games and the Dark Swarm game.
They've been doing a lot of progress on Dark Swarm. They have made a trailer that they were off showing Gamescom that I think we're ready to roll.
Yes. I love that sound.
Like the Pavlov's dog kind of.
Your mission? Simple but crucial. Eliminate the relentless Dark Swarm. You won't be alone in this fight. Assault, the king of killing. Engineer, the team's defender. Infiltrator, the intelligence expert. Support, the backbone of the team. Join forces with up to 3 friends in Dark Swarm. The ultimate co-op, tactical, objective-based extraction shooter.
What's an extraction shooter? Oh, that looks interesting. Environment. I thought it was going to be all like in a dark ship.
So now we have with us.
I think it looks pretty good.
Incredible team from Bitfire Games. Welcome to the stream.
Hello. Hi, sir. Nice to see you all.
Awesome to see you, Hans, Jonas, and Uwe, the trio over at Bitfire.
I wonder when they're going to publish a first-person game.
Now, and you've been hard at work at Dark Swarm.
No.
It looks amazing. And
you mean no?
Better.
I mean no.
Before we just hear what you've been doing over the past period and all the
look at that flamethrower.
In development, Could you tell everybody that's maybe new to Darkswarm what the game is?
Oh yeah, Darkswarm. It's a co-op game for 1 to 4 players. You play with your team from this Death on Demand corporation, and you go out on these missions to destroy the Dark Swarm that's causing a lot of trouble in the universe. That's just in the galaxy. That just
the guy on the right does not like a game developer.
You have to take on missions.
He's a businessman.
He doesn't like he doesn't like a businessman.
And do the loot and go all sorts of ways about it. You can do like sneaking in, stealthing, and you can do like more direct combat missions, and it's like procedural levels, and it's all about having a lot of fun with your friends.
Yeah, with your friends, exactly. Yes.
Jonas, the idea for Darkswarm, where did that come from? What was the inspiration?
Oh, the idea. Oh, yeah. It goes. It has. I guess it has roots in like early ideas, like back to Alien Breed and the Amiga, and of course we have a lot of newer, semi-new, like Alien Swarm, and then recently I was playing like just years ago, playing like some Helldivers. So it's like you can say it's an amalgamation of all these like
not nominated for Game of the Year
games that is just like growing into something new.
It didn't come out this year.
I feel like the concept of
it was nominated for something.
Being thrust into a dangerous situation by a slightly callous company is a concept that we've seen before. And I will say that Darkswarm seems to be resonating with a lot of DRG fans. I'm seeing a bunch of people I know and interact with from the DRG community over in the Darkswarm Discord.
Absolutely.
So you've been working on this game for a bit now. Have you do you want to highlight some of the things you've done over this past period? Some development you've made some progress on the development.
Oh yeah, we have been working like
those flame effects are really nice. And it's also just like the size of the fire as well. I can tell you're gonna gravitate towards that.
Each of our classes have their own unique set of weapons.
It is such a like flood game though. It's like Halo's Flood. It just really is.
Yeah, that is like a flash infection.
Yeah. Very adjacent. I have no problem with that because someone's got to do it.
You've also been working a lot on the environment. I know a lot of visual upgrades on the environment, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have got this procedural generation in for like the how like the Darkswarm hive sort of grows in the levels, and we are opening up on this whole on a planetary surfaces that you will also see in the footage.
At some point.
So
you hear that? Those Discord notifications.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's you or not. I mean, I can't imagine it was, but.
No, it's definitely on the thing.
Yeah.
I'm listening to this for Xbox.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It's a little bit arcadey looking, and we want to tone all the blinky stuff down and get like just the right mood. Also, UI has been a thing we've been worked on a lot. Maybe Hans can talk more about it.
Yeah, that's not much to say. We have made a UI where we can see all the information for our teammates and make it more clear what's actually going on in the game. And yeah, the community really asked for that. So
yeah, meet your fucking Discord, guys.
That's not really in the footage yet.
That's not in the project yet.
No, but that's definitely cool to hear. That's definitely something you think about when you play co-op. It might not sound as exciting as a flamethrower, but when you're actually playing, it becomes very clear that it's the
important part of the experience.
Oh,
so,
sure.
But when will you be done with this mighty game? Is there an early
tomorrow
access, coming up, or we'll have to wait a bit more, right?
Yeah, it will be aiming for the end of 25.
Aiming.
Let's see. There's still a lot of work, but
still a few things.
Still a few things.
But in between,
Yeah, probably the one everyone's looking forward to the most, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor notwithstanding, is taking the longest.
Yeah.
People join your
Whoever
Discord.
pinged them
I
is
think
probably banned
taking
now.
the longest is probably inaccurate. Started the latest is probably the best way to put it.
It was announced. Oh, it was one of the first ones announced, though.
Yeah, I know, but like everything else was announced after it had already been in the works for a little while. Like it had been stewed on. Like, I think, Diggy Spell Rogue was basically, like, ready to go
I'll
when they
say
announced
this.
it.
I mean, it looks better than the rest of them.
But the route to get into any kind of invite.
I like the visuals, and it looks just very fleshed out.
Wishlisting and following
and cool.
Wishlist, follow, and join the Discord. As always, you know the drill.
I will say I'm actually pretty active on the Darkswarm Discord as well, and it's growing into a pretty active, pretty friendly community in there. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Quite weird considering no one can play it.
If there's like a divide in terms of like set class weapons, that means there's someone with a cryo cannon, and it's not the guy with the flamethrower. They're separate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a cryo cannon. I think it's more of like a plasma spray
I
or
think
something.
it is ice. I mean, it looks very ice blue, color-wise. But I didn't see any freeze effects, to be fair.
For Go Ship Publishing,
Yeah.
we have a lot coming out and a lot coming up. We prepared a roadmap for our publishing just so we ourselves and everybody can
Okay,
get
that
an
might be worth
overview
taking
of,
into account.
of what's going on. You should be able to
Season
see that up on
6.
screen here. It's been a very busy 2024. It's mostly been updates for
grab that.
Spell Rogue and
Bit worried
Spell
they're growing
Rogue
too
that came
quick.
out
Hold
10
on.
months
Quarter
ago.
2.
And I'm not going to go into details here, but this
Oh
is
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much a
That's
summary of
definitely.
everything we've talked about in terms of
I think SNIS was technically right.
test and when you can expect what. All subject to change.
Yes, all subject change, and as again the last point, season 6 to be determined after the early access release of Rogue Core. So you have to be a bit more patient on that one. But Alex, I'm gonna kick you out as head of publishing, and
thanks so much.
And invite
Yeah,
in,
bye, Alex.
from our marketing team,
You dweeb.
Aaron, who have you seen both in the office tour and heard on the invitationals. So Aaron,
Hey,
come on
couple.
in.
Put your heads on before you start talking.
Get his headset on and sits down. This is now turning into the merchandise segment, where you and Alex from marketing will present.
Alex from marketing. Huge.
Yeah, you know Alex from marketing.
Or is Soren really small?
Of Alex from publishing. Looks pretty much like Alex from publishing.
Not that Soren isn't, but yeah.
He's coming in now.
Let's bring him in now.
Alright, let's stop objectifying Aaron.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that, chat. It's Alex from marketing.
Thank you, Soren. Thank you, Eric. It's great to be here. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex, head of marketing here at Go Ship Games. It is awesome to be here. What are we doing, Aaron?
Well,
He can't help it.
Alex,
He's got that
we're
fucking
addressing a big
paper
thing with Deep Rock
adjustment built into
Galactic,
him.
is that there's been a saying for many, many years that Deep Rock Galactic has no merch.
Probably the shirts that they're
Many
wearing.
people have said it, and it's been hard to argue with because indeed we have.
It's going to be on the store.
God, Aaron, I hope that doesn't continue
Oh,
in
yeah.
the future.
Whoa, Alex! It is a beautiful day because this.
Unfortunately,
is
that's
the
not
day
the
that
kind of thing I would
changes.
wear, where it's
Those
like a
days
full
of no
illustration
merch, those
of
merciless
something
days
like
are
from a
over,
game.
Thanks to Dave.
Dave, you say? What an interesting name. Tell me more, Aaron.
Well, Dave is a big Deep Rock Galactic fan. He's got just about 1,000 hours in the game, but more than that, Dave is
Rookie
also
numbers.
a mechanical designer and a merch guy.
Wow, Dave Cyberslug, the perfect guy to make merch for Deep Rock Galactic.
That's exactly where my head is at. It's so good we work in marketing.
I'm so glad I signed that contract with him.
Yeah, so Dave runs his own business, Heroic Replicas. They make things like, replicas of swords from video games or cartoons. You may know Dave because he runs the merch store for Satisfactory and for Valheim. And you may see where this is going. Thanks to Dave and Heroic Replicas, we are now able to launch our very own Deep Rock Galactic web shop. And it's going live, opening for pre-orders when I press this button. That's right.
Alright, let's go
Entering
buy
a
some
new
stuff.
era. The sun is shining, it's dawn over this world full of Deep Rock Galactic merchandise. And Alex, we have such an incredible catalog of merch to show off, don't we?
We sure do, Aaron. I almost can't wait to see the first item that I'll be
I should
able
probably
to
actually
buy
not
with my
go to the
hard-earned money.
website
Well,
on
money
stream.
is a classic thing to exchange for goods. Why don't I show you some of the stuff we have going on? Coming up, we've got something like a Deep Rock Galactic keychain set. Are you tired of your keys looking so boring you pull them out of your pocket and you think,
Oh, there's quite a lot of stuff.
I could get
that
the
problem
keychain.
constantly, Aaron. I have boring keys and a boring life as a result of that.
Well, I can fix the key thing with this keychain set. Alex, why don't you reach over and show me what else you've got?
Well, Aaron, do you ever find that you don't have anywhere to store your liquids?
Yes!
Well, Dave has a solution for that.
What?
Now, with this branded
Turn it
Deep
around.
Rock Galactic canteen, you will be able to store all your
Okay, that's a
liquids
bit-
hot and cold in a
bit
bespoke
loose.
container fitting the
a bit of a
Deep
stretch.
Rock theme.
Alex, is this the canteen featured in Deep Rock Galactic, the computer game?
It sure is.
It
Aaron.
is, but
this is the canteen that you use to revive your friends when they go down.
Wow!
All you have to do is spray some water in your face in the video game.
Alex, can you hold other liquids in it too?
You sure can.
Holy cow! What a perfect container for liquids and fluids.
And it opens up for a...
See, that's nicer. I like that.
underneath with this cover sliding up.
Wow, this is awesome. And it's made of aluminum, which is a metal, so that's sort of also a reference to the game in itself.
It sure is, Aaron.
Alex, why don't I show you something else we've got? Are you tired of all those coins in your pocket jangling around and everyone's hearing you because your
A
coins
wallet?
are so
I need a
noisy?
wallet.
Aaron, it's a huge problem at home. My family hates it. I think
It's actually
my
just like a
wife
coin
might
pouch.
You talk about it all the time, but I've got a Deep Rock Galactic Loot Bug piggy bank.
That's not a wallet.
This can hold all my coins?
There's also a gold one.
And do I have to break it open like the loot bug in the video game to get
Golden
all
loot
my
bug.
coins and hard-earned money out of it?
That's the awesome immersive part, Alex. Not only can you choose to break it, but if you're a pacifist, there's a rubber plug underneath so you can retrieve your cash without violence.
So are you saying all I have to do is unplug the piggy bank
Looking
and all
forward to the
values come...
video of someone smashing the shit out of the loot bag.
Yeah,
Like piggy
us.
bank.
We're gonna do
And
it.
it's a sturdy,
By hand.
durable, and beautiful addition to any home. But wait,
Punch it
there's
apart.
more. If you're wishing that there's a more luxurious version, we've got just the perfect solution. It's a golden loot bug, just like the golden loot bug from Deep
That actually looks good. That's a lot better than like the golden grommet mug, where it doesn't really look like him.
I'm richer than somebody that has a regular loot bug.
That's right, Alex.
Like, find the stickiest thing I could find and like stick it in a random part on my wall or something, or on the ceiling.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool?
Maybe not the ceiling actually, because it would rain on my face.
It sure would, Aaron. It sure would. Wow, this is where the money comes out of it.
Yeah, Alex, why don't you show me what else we have?
Well, Aaron, I have this very chunky chunk of gold.
Wow. Alex, does it make noise?
It sure does,
Oh.
Aaron. It has a big button that when I press on it, it says gold. And we're rich. It
Wow.
has multiple
What's
voice
the
lines
price?
from the hit game Deep
That
Rock
button's a
Galactic.
bit
Featuring voice lines from
obtrusive.
the Deep Rock Galactic computer game.
But wait, Aaron,
What?
there's more.
There's more?
Yeah.
There's a
Do you
Bosco.
know Bosco?
I know Bosco.
This is Bosco.
It's Bosco.
It's Bosco.
You have to
He
paint
makes the
him.
noise,
That Bosco makes.
just like Bosco from the Deep Rock Galactic computer
Yeah.
game.
And you get to paint Bosco yourself if you want, or just enjoy his silvery look.
Alex,
on
this
your
is
desk.
incredible. What if there were other goods that were so small that we couldn't show them on camera for full effect, so we had slides?
That would be a great.
I feel like the
solution
keychains
to
for
a
that
problem
already.
Like that, Aaron.
Let's do it now.
Buttons,
Pulling up here in the
stickers,
Deep Rock Galactic web
Bluetooth
shop. The web
light
shop is
box
open now at
Stop it.
for the Abyss bar.
deeprockshop.com. That's www.deeprockshop.com. Alex, we've got a high fashion driller tee. Do you know how you're always bringing high explosives to the office and people feel uneasy about it?
It's sure been a problem, Aaron.
Well, now you have a t-shirt to make you more trustworthy. If you put on this Deep Rock Galactic Driller t-shirt, everyone can see that you know what you're doing with explosives.
I always want people to know what I'm doing, and I want my apparel to signal
This
that.
script's not accepted.
We've got the Inspiring Engineer tee featuring the real red color from the Deep Rock Galactic computer game. This t-shirt may or may not be legally guaranteed to increase standardized test scores.
Hey, that's the one I'm wearing.
Incredible, Alex. Up next, we've got the Heavy Duder Gunny tee, Gunner tee, with a 100-pound gun that's not included for $28. This t-shirt can be yours. Just go to www.deeprockshop.com and it can be yours. Finally, completing the squad, we've got the superb Scout tee. It ships at the same speed as the others, even though Scout moves faster, which is a bit of an incongruous thing, but you're going to have to take that up with your local postal provider. Just go to www.deeprockshop.com.
All right, it's 2 p.m. guys.
and
Come
you
on.
can order it now.
But Aaron, I want all of those t-shirts.
Holy cow, Alex, I've got the slide for you. Wham, bam. If you're tired of doing laundry, if you can't pick, if you want to represent your love for Deep Rock Galactic, then you can get all 4 Class T's for a bargain bundle. Just enter the code Phasonite at checkout for a discount to get all 4 T's for $100. Just go to www.
I wish I found this kind of stuff appealing, but I don't.
Now.
Wow, all I will have to do
Stickers
is be able
though,
to spell
maybe
the
for my
word
laptop.
Phasonite and I
That's a
can
bit
get
more
discount?
appealing.
That's right, Alex. Alex, do you know how you have surfaces in your life that need to be covered with objects?
Yeah. Do I?
I love the goal of putting the fucking Miners Union logos on the stickers.
It's the Deep Rock Galactic Sticker Pack.
No way.
Featuring adhesive technology, this sticker pack includes 35 vinyl stickers that you can place on
Coins for stickers is pretty vicious.
adhesives don't work very well. But that's
Actually, most of it is delivery. That's the problem.
featuring your favorite classes, your favorite beer labels, your favorite gear and creatures from the Deep Rock Galactic computer game. And if you enter the coupon code, you'll get a free sticker
Sick.
pack with any order over $40.
I don't think it's a real code.
Deep Rock Shop. That's www.deeprockshop.com. Up next, Alex, we've got the Abyss Bar Bluetooth speaker. Do you know how sometimes you're listening to something but you want to look at something too?
All the time, Aaron.
Yep, and we've
like
got,
now.
Yes, exactly, and we've got the perfect solution. This Abyss Bar Bluetooth speaker is not only a fully functional Bluetooth speaker, but it also has this lit-up display featuring the Abyss Bar from Deep Rock Galactic, the computer game made of many, many layers of paper, and it's light up. But if you don't like the quality of sound, because you're one of those freaks that's really specific about your sound, you can plug it into your own speaker.
Wow, Aaron, this bar looks so cozy. I might start drinking again.
Wow,
Plug it into your
Alex,
own
don't
speaker.
threaten
You
the
don't
whole
use a
company
speaker.
with a good time. This is one of the many goods available on the Deep Rock web shop. Just go to www.deeprockshop.com and place your pre-order now. Up next, we've got the DRG Challenge coin. Are you ever at a bar and you're intimidated by real military veterans who have these coins because they actually served in the army? And
Is that a lot of money for that kind of thing?
As tough?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Absolutely.
so we've got one of these coins that you can prove, and if nobody looks too closely, they'll think you were in the Army too. For only $19, this coin can be yours. It's made of real metal, just like the metal you see in Deep Rock Galactic computer game, and it's also got a velour, anyway, a fabric carrying case that you can protect your coin in. It's $19, available now on www.deeprockshop.com.
A case for protecting my coin? Dave, he thinks of everything.
That's right, and we've got multiple pin sets. For example, this one, the perfect accessory for your lapel. Alex, you don't have anything on your coat.
That grunt is so green.
I do not, Aaron.
What the hell?
What will fix that?
Well, Alex, we've got a pin set made of metal and enamel, I guess is the terms for that. It's $19, available at www.deeprockshop.com. But we've also got another one featuring other items from Deep Rock Galactic, the computer game.
A pin would sell quite well.
Yeah, that was going to sell more.
You can order all of them.
We've got Bismore in it.
It's the pin set combo, the pin collector's dream. Enter code PINDOWN at checkout, and you can get both of them at a significant discount. That's only at www.deeprockshop.com. That's www.deeprockshop.com. Ask your parents permission.
Oh, the barrel keychain. I've got to get that.
I recognize those keychains, Aaron. Those were the ones that were going to fix my boring keys.
Yeah, they're going to fix your boring keys. They'll fix your life. They'll fix your marriage. They'll fix any situation.
For only $24, they will fix my marriage?
Yep, that's only $24.
And there are 3 of them.
And there's 3 of them. You could have 3 fixed marriages for the price
Whoa,
of 1.
my current marriage and 2 future ones.
Moving right along, that's $24 here for this die-cast keychain set. Put them on your keychains, and you'll blow the key community out of the water. You'll go to the key meetups where you show off your house and car keys, and you're going to say, look, you...
That's not a meetup that should exist. That's too dangerous.
I've got the coolest keys on the block. It's only $24 at www.deeprockshop.com. And finally, Alex, we've got a single-button Rock and Stone keyboard key. Do you know how you're playing Deep Rock Galactic and you press the V button?
No, Aaron, there are so many buttons on the keyboard that I have such a hard time finding the V button in time.
I'm so glad you brought up that critical issue, Alex, because the V button is famously the Rock and Stone button, but finally, you can have a keyboard dedicated to that key. It's a fully functional RGB light-up gamer keyboard with just the V key. You can press it, and your character will say Rock and Stone.
That's actually
and you can plug it in
kind of funny.
connection to your personal computer or your console.
It's also like,
oh,
wow! I will never be embarrassed by missing a Rock and Stone again.
I know. Wow,
we got the
available.
Rock and Stone button on console.
Galactic web shop. That's
Galactic.
www.deeprockshop.com.
All items displayed are for pre-order. Final product designs may vary. Shipping and taxes are calculated at checkout and may depend on location. Terms and conditions may apply.
Wow, Alex, what an incredible selection of goods.
They do all say pre-order on them.
No, Aaron, there's more.
There's more?
There's
the big
more.
red Rock and
There's
Stone.
more.
There's more.
Let's roll the tape.
Lloyd, around the beer, please.
I mean, you got to do it.
What's a gold, isn't it?
And Red Rock Blaster. Actually, hold on a minute. One of those is actually the original Oily Oath mug, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, it might be Slayer Stout in the other one. You can have hot and cold drinks. It's kind of something. I might get you one for Christmas.
Don't, mate, because if I had to, if that is not going to be cheap.
I know. Well, it depends on the price. I mean, it's separate. It says Kickstarter. Okay. It's a bit distinct. It's a bit distinct. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it'd be a great thing to have, like, especially if we did anything in person again.
So amazing, and like I said, I might start drinking again, so they are right up my alley. Here to tell us more about these cups.
Guys, it's 7 minutes over time.
Kickstarter is Scorched Steel Industries. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah. You are.
Welcome, Alexis and Elliot. That you're the two of the three founders from Scorched Steel Industries, right?
Yeah, that is exactly right. And we are here to finally provide the Deep Rock Galactic community with the very
That is a mustache.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, these are sweet. You guys have been working on this for a while. What's if people don't know Scorched Steel Industry, what's your guys' deal? Or where might DRG people know you from?
People might know my first company, Forge Steel Studio, where I made figures for a lot of people.
All right, call it quits, lads.
And the dwarf you have on your desk.
They're French.
Yeah, these guys. And I made quite a few replicas and statues of DRG dwarves for the last 4 years or so. And one thing I always wanted to do was DRG mugs, obviously. But it's a very complicated process with a lot of steps, a lot of money also needed. And after more than a year of work, we are ready now to show you what we've done.
And we are super excited about it. Alexis and Elliot, these aren't just replica mugs. You can actually use them, right?
Oh yeah, definitively. Those mugs are not just a single prop that you are going to have on a shelf. Those are.
I want to like take one into a bar with me. Get them to fill it up.
Drinks, fizzy optional. You can use alcohol or something else. I mean, no, not going to judge you here. And they'll cost less than a board game, but a bit more than a paper cup. So they should still be available and affordable.
The board game doesn't say much.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I don't actually know how much it is off the top of my head, so.
Like, hey, where are these cups coming from?
Just click the link.
I think it's 500
how did we get to a point where it's DRG meets people who can fabricate and sell these mugs?
Well, we met around DRG. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I work both as a mechanic and as a designer for mechanical industries. And Alexi is... I'm a product designer by trade. Got a master degree in it. And I'm a huge fan of video games, universe, and crafting, a lot of things.
Yeah, the project's not even live yet. You can't even pay for it.
This is awesome. And you're, besides your professional background, you're also pretty well known in the DRG community. I've known the two of you for some time on Discord, and you've played a bunch of Deep Rock yourself, right?
Oh,
you know, when we worked on this campaign with you, it's pretty clear that you know the mug as well as we do, if not better.
We had to.
Do you think if they made a Leaf Lover mug, it would actually like, sell badly?
Come from the game to real life.
Not inherently.
To the shape so that they can be easily held.
Maybe.
That they are nice.
Like slightly less sales.
And solving quite a lot of mechanical issues so that they can be finally available.
Yeah.
And speaking of availability, because I'm pretty excited about them. When do you think they will be available to? You have an upcoming Kickstarter campaign going live, right? When will they be available?
That's right.
Where can I hear more about it?
You can find the link for the Kickstarter campaign sign-up page that should now be posted in the chat for both streams. We also have it on our website, scorchsteel.com.
And we will have the first.
I think people are kicking off in the comments.
First color.
Are they? I mean, I don't have that
About
chat
the prices
open.
and that.
Available as.
Oh, did it say the price or not?
From the start, Q1 2025.
No, the prices of the other stuff.
Right.
Will be available as campaign stretch goals if the community wants them enough.
And when you say Q1 25, that's the Kickstarter campaign, right? That's not when the cups will be set up.
No.
Yes. No.
You will get the cups way later, depending on the amount ordered. We might need a bit more time to have them. Delays depending on manufacturing and the global state of the world are hard to predict. Not before a year. Sorry for that.
Cool. But so right now, if people are interested,
2026 is like earliest.
Fucking hell! What do you mean? Look at them. They're right there.
Get notified when the Kickstarter campaign.
Don't worry, I'll get one for you this Christmas.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. So Scorched Steel Industries,
Hubris.
BRG Replica Muck going live as a Kickstarter campaign Q1 25. Alexis and Elliot, thank you so much for joining. Super excited to have you. Can't wait for the campaign to go live and for us to go drinking out of.
For Rock and Stone.
That just tells you how hard this shit actually is and how the price is probably not technically unreasonable, whatever it is.
The stream's over. We did everything we wanted.
Oh no, Aaron!
What?
The stream is just getting started.
What?
This is the segment that we've all been waiting for.
You're right.
Rock Galactic State of Roguecore.
Roguecore, baby. All right, chat. Well, it is the moment you may or may not have been waiting for. I'm guessing most of you are waiting for it. Let's bring on Mikkel and Mike to talk
Mike!
Roguecore.
Hi there.
Who are these people?
I'm Mike. I'm CCO of Go Ship Games and game
God.
director of Deep Rock Galactic and Roguecore.
Yeah, and I'm the lead game designer on Roguecore.
Yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic.
And
I think people like knew. I mean, they obviously knew when this was starting, but they've absolutely shot up in activity.
They got so.
since it hit
I'm just
2.
thinking about how much time they got until they even planned to release the game.
And I hope we still have some viewers out there who are not like at the store or wish listing games and so on. No, but we are here to talk about Roguecore.
We are super excited to do so as well. I think it's been a while since we said much about Roguecore.
It's been over a year since it's been announced.
A couple of blog posts on Steam.
It'll be just under a year until it comes out.
Yeah, that's true. But overall, like after we've gone to do season 5, as kind of like we said, we wanted to focus on that. So we stopped Roguecore development. Everybody went over.
Deep Rock Galactic.
No, we stopped Roguecore development to do
season 5. Yeah, sure, yes.
And then we're able to take the team over to fully focus on Roguecore.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing. So we have some stuff to show and to talk about the game, and of course talk also about
You better.
plans going forward.
Yeah. And I think we are. I mean,
might turn it up a bit
about what we're going to show you here. But I think we have a couple of disclaimers.
Yes.
Like for example that I mean we are the way we are approaching development is not doing a very pretty vertical slice where everything is just
No, it's the opposite. This is not a pitch.
This is not a pitch, no.
Like, don't see it like that.
No, we're very much like working on the game on all over the place, which means that it's like we're lifting it piece by piece.
Yes. So what you're going to see is actually the state that the game is in right now as we're working on it.
But maybe we should just do like a quick run through of what we are going to talk about before we get going. I actually have a small plan here. So I can just
nice
the piece of paper here. So we're going to show you a video with a sneak peek that Mark has put together.
That's the thing
we
we'll be
are going
dissecting.
to talk about different topics of the game. We're going to talk about biomes.
Biomes?
We're going to talk about how we upgrade and level up in Roguecore. We're showcasing some of the new game hub area, which is not a space brig but a spaceship that we call the Ramrod. And then we are doing something that we haven't done before on these live streams, which is that we're going to do a live demo session where we have Jacek sitting with Unreal, and we are showcasing stuff live in Unreal.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we're going to have a Q&A session where you can ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions as good as we can. So feel free to write the questions in the chat as we move along.
Exactly.
So
I think maybe also just very quick before we hit forward, maybe just if anybody here doesn't know exactly what Rogue Core is, maybe you can give it an introduction.
Which somehow there are plenty.
So Rogue Core is a
crazy
spin-off of Deep Rock Galactic with a roguelike twist. So it's still a first-person 1 to 4 player co-op shooter, but the story setting is a little bit different. We're still at Hoxus in space, and the situation is that Space Mining Corporation, Deep Rock Galactic, has discovered this very precious mineral at the core of Hoxus that's called Exponite, and they want
the
to
name hasn't
mine
changed.
it and harvest it, and so they're setting up mining facilities at the core of Hoxus. And
I make Mike because he doesn't know.
Suddenly there's this event.
It's like, yeah, like talking to him.
Where they lose all contact with the mining facilities.
And Mike's just looking like, yes.
All attempts
yes.
on like entering the mining facilities again fail. So what do? They call in the Reclaimers, an elite unit of special trained dwarfs that will come in and try to reclaim the core of the mining facilities.
Tells you how long ago it was announced. It feels weird to hear them use the word reclaimer again.
Four dwarves, elite trained, moving into the unknown horrors of the core foxes.
Exactly.
All right. So with all that said, I think maybe we're ready to
source. Like, yeah.
Sure. I think just very
it's just like hell yeah. His own like story idea, basically.
More on kind of what you're going to be seeing is that. And what we're going to be talking about. We have been so far very much focusing on the kind of the game within the single run, the very core of the game. So far, we feel it's super important for us to nail this. So what we're going to be talking about, and mostly what we're going to be showing, is things happening in the run, and not so much things happening around the run. So the structure overall of the game in which these runs exist, that is something that we're not going to be addressing.
And meta progression, right? Because I think that we are not like a true roguelike, it's more like a roguelite. We are going to have player progression.
I think you could say, like, yeah, it's a roguelite, but we're also very much going to be putting our own twist on it. So,
yeah, it's our take on what a roguelike is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're doing it the Deep Rock way.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, without further ado, let's...
oh,
let's
God. Right, you can tell it's only because it looks very similar to Deep Rock, technically.
Oh, there's the wall wing.
That's the... Look at that. Ah! What's it doing? Placeholder assets. Ooh. Very nice. Look at the drawing. Look at the drawing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, look at that gun.
Oh, that's the shock thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it is the upgrade drone. What are they up to? Oh, my favourite blank weapon.
There's just so much more infrastructure. Yeah, it is new actually, isn't it?
Oh, the orb. Oh, just calm down, mate. Jesus. A lot of different things in it.
Right,
Oh,
so
I like
should I
this
just-
layout. It's
Yes.
like the Season 5 stuff.
So, as some of you who are veterans of Deep Rock Galactic, you can probably see that there are assets in this trailer here that you will recognize from Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes.
For example, all the
Classes
right
a good
now are just
thing to have
using
there.
armor sets that we are just been putting together from from Deep Rock Galactic. So obviously they are gonna look unique.
Yeah, and again, kind of like you were saying, this is the state of the game, and Rogue Core has been developed on kind of by us taking Deep Rock Galactic, making a copy of it, and beginning to strip it down and rework it and stuff like that. And so you can see that.
Yes.
The final thing is gonna be its own thing, right? I mean,
you can see the infrastructure. It's literally like a hallway made out of DRG stuff.
From DRG,
here, basically.
For us to use that model, right?
Like we're in the Fungus Bogs, right?
But anyway,
That's what clearly the biome is.
When you see something from Deep Rock Galactic, there's a good chance that we are gonna change the model to something unique that will fit within.
Yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards. I think all the placeholder stuff.
But anyways, the first topic I think we should dive into is how we are
kind of takes away from it
the
at the moment.
biomes. Yeah. More precisely, how we are procedurally generating a mining facility versus a natural cave, like what you have seen in Deep Rock Galactic.
Exactly.
I suppose that makes sense.
Like a huge difference between Rogue Core
procedural
and
mining facilities
is that the story of Rogue Core is that you are going through a facility that Deep Rock Galactic has set up, these deep dig sites where they are harvesting exponite, and so we want to like actually have that, and that has like some issues we need to figure out, which is like how do we logically place these things, because Rogue Core, just like Deep Rock Galactic, is procedurally generated. So we're not doing level design in the same way.
No, and I think this is like back to when we have been generating natural cave formations in Deep Rock Galactic, right? I mean, because nature is kind of random. Obviously, we have like rules for how we are spawning plants and rocks and so on. But when we are spawning man-made or dwarf-made structures, it demands that it makes a little bit more sense. That there is a reason for why the dwarves have been.
That's not a mineral I recognise. That's green nitro.
And that is something that we are looking very much into. Like,
I assume that's the Exponite, and I assume they'll change it as well.
I already really like this, like
building like a bridge.
It's procedurally generating structures inside DRG's already procedurally generating caves.
And again, we are
as part of the environment.
We are procedurally generating and the logic of it to make it make sense.
Exactly, and just like to further kind of clarify, these facilities, they are built within natural caves. So it's not that you're going through an entirely dwarf-made structure. Instead, we have the caves. The caves existed. DRG came.
I do wonder how much of a pit that is as well.
Setting up their
if that generation is like a bottomless pit type thing.
All that stuff. And so we are creating these.
Nothing that we wouldn't already see in Deep Rock.
We call them constructions generally, whether they are in tunnels or inside large caves. And these are both have just like static elements, but we also have interactive elements in them as well.
And that's super fun, like elevators.
We can see the screen as well, right? But that's like a lift that you can use to take up, and again, these are things that you can then fix or power up to be able to use these.
Could be lights that you turn on, or cranes that you can move, and it's just really nice to see, and it actually interacts in a different way in like your traversal. You traversing the caves, that you actually have these structures to help you out.
Exactly.
But then the other part of generating the biomes is that we are close to the core, and as you can see on some of the screenshots or in the video we showed you,
so that is crystalline caverns.
Biomes from Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah, you are on Hoxus still.
Yeah, we are still on Hoxus, right? But we really wanted to give it a unique flavor away from Deep Rock Galactic. So what we've been working on is creating what we call a core biome, which is like how does the core of Hoxus look like, or when you're close to the core. And then we have been experimenting with taking this core biome and having it spread into the existing biomes. And that's what you see on this image here. You see like segments of the core biome mixed in with, this is Crystal Cavern, where it's mixed in. And that will happen in the first couple of
honeycomb kind of.
I do like those bits specifically. The big ones.
And become like the core biome when you get deeper down.
Exactly. Yeah.
The gun.
And
the gun's new.
As you try to reclaim the core.
It's so weird. See anything different in the hand of a dwarf.
Reclaim. Down at the core of Hoxus.
Yeah.
which is where Expedite.
That was not the core, by the way. That looks a little bit puny. If that was the
no.
Yeah,
but that was an
cool.
example of the pure
mining facility entrance.
And then, I mean, if we kind of follow, like, based on what you're looking. So again, when we talk
I
about
like the sound of that.
Right, so here's an example of a facility entrance.
And again, this is I was gonna say program art. This is actually game design art. So it's just something that has been put up. This is gonna look way cooler when we get some artists actually working on it. No, but I think we're gonna change the gear a little bit and talk about how you are upgrading, how you're leveling up within a run in Rogue Core.
Yes.
So the first thing that is actually going to happen is you're gonna come down to this mining facility with a drop pod, like you know in Deep Rock Galactic.
Well,
and then
but
you're going to enter this gray zone area where there's going to be like a huge barrier that is impenetrable. But luckily the dwarves, the reclaimers, have some special robots that can sort of like crack a hole in this barrier that is like covering the whole mining facility.
Yeah.
And they can get in there and start reclaiming it.
Exactly. But I think there's so of course because again, compared to Deep Rock Galactic, where you are upgrading very much outside the missions, and then you go down to the mission with your gear and stuff like that. Here we're playing with this idea that you are instead upgrading and powering yourself up, finding gear as you play, right? So it is the kind of this barrier that prevents you from bringing high-tech stuff in.
Yeah.
So that is why kind of the reclaimers are coming in right now
naked.
nice little bit of like forced
so
stuff.
The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to enter the.
It's once again, it's like how much stuff they get down there before shipment
this,
sideways.
Entrance room or locker room. Yeah. That is like the first room you go into before you enter the mines.
Yeah.
And
wait, so this is in mission.
Gonna equip a gun and a traverse mines.
Yeah.
And here you are gonna equip a gun and a traversal tool.
Yes.
And weapon terminal or a tool equipment terminal.
Yeah.
And here they are gonna pick. Can we get the next screenshot? Here you can see an example of a screen where you will be picking your gun.
It's odd that the shot blaster is like a drawing there, considering we saw it in game.
Selection thing.
Yes.
So it's hidden by some of the graphics, but if you look up in the top of this image, you will be able to see that it says Mark and Alex and
Ace S.
Ace S, and they're taking turns picking a gun now.
Yes.
So it is something that you.
Oh, he's a spotter. You can see his class.
Yeah.
Turn-based.
Yeah, it's actually a big part.
Yeah, not everyone picks at once. That makes sense.
That's why you have to argue by voice.
Yeah.
The gunplay or
and it probably won't be the same person who starts every time, which prevents the whole legendary thing.
Alone by yourself, and you don't just do next to your teammate, but you actually are doing it with your teammate. So we have this kind of the analogy would be kind of the game deals out cards onto a table, and then the whole team has to choose one, and you talk about what do you want and what makes sense. And this is happening multiple times through the run, so it is about kind of like using this both for tools but also for upgrades. These are kind of
we're gonna look at them in a second.
Okay, yeah.
If anyone ever takes the jills from me, I will rage quit.
Okay, understood.
And I think the other thing about, by the way,
but yeah, they are different levels as well.
Plus excavation speed. I just mining, I guess.
In making your
teammates
good.
Because it is a blue one.
So I mean, sometimes maybe you cannot get the most powerful, objectively powerful selection.
Well, you can see the
but maybe
flare gun there. Actually, I'm not sure what's going on. Actually,
yeah, because
and then you should actually value giving the upgrade to the teammate.
Yes, because I mean the way it's set up again, right? You will succeed or fail together, right? So you yourself being super strong is not going to be enough when you're playing.
Let's get one extra bit.
To the number of players.
Uncommons get 2,
so
and it seems like rares get 3.
A small video of the.
Okay, so it looks like Expedite will be green.
Upgrades in the game. Yes.
Yeah.
And that is by mining Expedite that is in the mines here. And here we see a small video where you're mining it. This the Expedite here is also a placeholder, by the way. But
I think that's the ambient blaster, by the way, because I saw he posted some more drawings.
Here we see something new, right? This is Ellis, and Ellis is a new companion drone that you have with you. And Ellis functions a little bit like Molly,
but so much more.
But she does so much more. And so Ellis is an REPD, a remote Expedite processing drone. So you put Expedite into it, and then it processes the Expedite, and then it gives you an upgrade. And as you can see here, can you just pause it here, Mark? As you saw that when Ellis is ready,
he's a guardian as well. I keep seeing the classes in the bottom left.
And then all the reclaimers needs to gather around Ellis.
Yes.
Placeholder.
So all together there, you will get to select an upgrade.
Exactly. She's kind of a focal point where the team is. I mean, you're spreading out, you're doing things, and then you're constantly coming back together.
Red sugar confirmed.
This is very important to keep the team together to keep this version, and also to allow for more chances for cooperation, right? When you are next to each other, as opposed to if you're all over.
You read the description for impact
it
radiance.
Means that if you have a dwarf down, you cannot upgrade until
you have to get him up.
that dwarf up again. But anyways, if you look at the screen here, the upgrade screen, again we can see a selection of some of the upgrades you can pick. Again, if you look at the top, you can see there's a sequence. That's the picking order. And in this case, there are 3 players playing Rogue Core. And that means that every third time you will pick first. So it goes, you take your turn going first, right? So even though you, I don't know, you just get the chance to get what you want. We also have a small
I didn't realize this was like gameplay. I said had just that makes sense. It just been on the same screen for like a few seconds.
And then you can sort of like communicate.
Shoot the gun.
That I want this. And then I don't know.
Very important that you cannot speak.
I think that's one that we saw.
When we play with the microphone,
remade.
I mean, it's just a nice redundant marker. You don't have to.
Yeah, I am pretty sure it's the ambient blaster.
And then you can either talk about it or respect it. I mean, in the end, again, it is about.
Yeah, the upgrades in the top right process.
To lock something down, it is you saying, "Hey, I would like that," or right, and
we're also working with that. We want to.
So you get a drone even with 3 people. There has to be 4 things down there by the looks of it.
To sort of like help them make this
Or actually, no, I don't know.
Exactly. Working together, and also of course cross-build synergies as well, so that kind of building in a way that another player can be powered up, or that
The symbol for that weapon is EPC.
You can do things. Again, it's like maybe you are very good at stunning, and then somebody else can.
That kind of leads into it being a plasma pistol.
Is based on.
I would say because I literally could mean it's current. Like in this video, we're seeing it's actually an EPC, especially because it is the crosshair. So it might not. That's maybe that's why he's not shooting it at all. What's that?
There's a different.
That's a core infuser. That's a
all the things.
But it's not really. It won't be. I imagine.
Screens. Then we also have a design for single player way of upgrading.
Oh.
That's something we call biostations.
Well, not just. I mean, this is also in multiplayer.
But
it's kind of like something you do by yourself.
But you do it in game. But this is where you can sort of like the build that you're working on. You can sort of like mold that into what you want. Again, this is placeholder. This is a very crude design. We have a more complicated or better design on the way. So this is just to showcase that we are also doing solo upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, very placeholder. Some of you probably can guess what the model is.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't guess. I'm probably not gonna get any medals for guessing that. No. But anyways, all right.
Then, the comments just it's called Cum Master that's asking where the ramrod is.
That is why
you would want to know that, wouldn't you?
Events in the cave, and in this case here you see what we right now call a rock cracker.
A rock cracker.
It is sort of like Expedite that has been encased in
stone.
That's cool.
And then this machine, you can activate it. There will be a huge fight. And then you will eventually.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh yeah, looks like it opens up the portals.
Chunk of Expedite and get a lot of upgrades, but this could change into something else that you were getting out of this.
So again, this facility, you will come upon, of course, like traversal elements like stairs, elevators, stuff like that, but also machinery that was being used for either harvesting Expedite or keeping something. I mean, all sorts of stuff, and it's again, like Mikkel said, doesn't just have to be Expedite. But the idea is that, something like this, so DRG was planning to crack this, they set this stuff up, and then the grey out happened, right? So now the Reclaimers come in, and they're able to restart this process and get the Expedite out, and then use it to...
reap some more rewards.
Exactly, right.
Get more power.
Yes.
All right, but I think that was enough. Now we are going to move over to talking about the Ramrod.
Yeah.
Because that's our
that guy's going to be really happy.
It is also in development.
Come, master will be pleased.
That's what expecting. The more shallow ceiling.
Yes, he just said yes.
Or anything.
A lot of grey.
Yeah, but we have.
Oh, you can tell that is literally that's the drop pod. Oh.
We could be able to explore the whole thing.
Probably.
Yeah, it is a spaceship.
Hell yeah.
Looks like it.
Talk a little bit about the difference between doing.
The drop pod's like small and grey.
And when you look at the space rig in Deep Rock Galactic, you have very high ceilings and a very big like hall room that you are moving
There's
around.
the gym.
And we really wanted to give this
small gym
spaceship feeling. And in that regard, we have lowered the ceiling, so you don't have as big rooms as in DRG. We have windows, more windows.
Yeah, across both
Well,
sides,
they've
right? I mean, it's
set
not
that
just,
up
kind of,
quick and well.
Like small part of a
yeah, that looks pretty finished.
Structure. You feel the structure. The idea is for you to feel the structure much more, right? So you kind of look to the left, and there's a window. Look to the right, there's a window. I mean, that's the kind of the boundary.
Symmetry,
a lot more symmetry.
A lot more done than this bit.
Side to side, on the ship also.
The toilets.
Yes, the shitters.
This is the kind of stuff that I am glad about though, because this is them like not cutting any corners basically, or like things that weren't done in DRG because it was like, why would we?
Yeah. And of course,
but from the beginning,
like with the spaceship,
everything's here. It's like
another thing here.
You don't need to ask where the toilets are on the ramrod. You do on the space rig.
This is the place where the Reclaimers live. This is kind of right there on their tour right now. I mean, and this is also a place where we get to kind of set up the.
There's a Lloyd fellow
what
in
is
there.
the kind of the culture of this group of dwarves, right? Because they are not the same.
About dwarf culture.
Dwarf culture.
The combat miners on Space Rig 17. They are.
Look at those eyes
different kind of
on the
dwarves.
drop
They do
pod.
different things, and they are their personalities. I think can be different, and so we're also trying
from
to
harder rock.
Cut from harder, but again, right? I mean, they also have different values, and again, like we put in a gym, for example, right?
I'm so glad that got in.
There's a gym where they can work out and so on. Yeah. But anyways, that was a little sneak peek at the ramrod.
Yeah, that's good. I'm surprised. I actually surprised we saw the ramrod at all. To be honest.
Shifting gears a little bit because we are inviting Jacek on board, and we're gonna do a live demonstration of stuff in the game.
Yes, let's do it.
God, here we go.
So hi Jacek.
Enemies.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey. Hi everybody.
Its FOV is so small.
I'm Jacek, and I'm the art director on DRG and Rockcore.
Mate, you got competition.
So,
that is a beak. Jesus.
Don't say that. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, we are in a small test area. Where
Oh,
we
God,
set
look
up
at
some
them.
of our new creatures.
Fuck yeah.
That we can walk
Who's
around.
that
That is
fella?
bigger than it is.
I've never
right?
seen him in my life. Well, yeah, 'cause you can see on the right. There's the grunt.
Yes, I've seen that from.
He's smaller.
5.
See?
Maybe we should just run through them.
I think
all
it's just
and
him
give a
being
quick
stripped.
introduction and
Well, no,
then
it's
we go
called its
back
different
and
names. It's called a creeper.
All right. So
yeah.
we have
Oh,
a
man.
smaller version of the crawler, correspond creeper.
Yep.
And
Scorcher. So we got a slasher guarding grunt. Welcome back. Oh God.
Clammerhead.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
This guy's called correspond Age Stalker.
I
Oh, he's
fucking
like
love
a
this.
centaur. He's like a...
And then
This-
we have
Whatever the hell that thing is.
a Rafkan Thrasher.
Rafkan, another species. They're fucking whale. They're sharks, I guess.
Oh my.
And of course we have a
I
lot
like
of
those guys a
fucking
lot.
God.
in the game, just besides
This is.
But besides the
This is
Rafkan
it.
Tyler's-
and
This is. This is
What's he doing
honestly.
with that? What's that?
like the base army that you are gonna be facing in Rogue Core.
So this is like the,
That's the
these are
idea
like
right
the
now.
starting sort of selection of
and
Glyphid and Mactera
equivalent
equivalents,
of
I
the
guess.
one is gonna be the creeper here.
Yes. Yeah, this is the ones where.
I'm
because
happy I
again,
was
this
right
is,
about the grunt thing.
Rockcore,
They're talking about
is
it.
A
I know.
horde shooter, kind of in the way that DRG is. So we are still looking at a similar kind of like combat setup for the enemies and what you're.
Oh, it's
fighting.
like a mole.
So these are the ones where that we need enemies that we can spawn a bunch of, right? That they can pour in.
And I think I don't know. Yeah, I think we want to say
like a
anything about
chihuahua.
the design.
It's just vibrating.
Well,
It's just
we're kind of continuing some of the, the specific details from the crawler. We're going like with those long tendony muscles on these guys, and we're definitely playing with the kind of peeling layers that show, a change in the creature at some point. Like this guy has like an extra skull that kind of mimics some kind of humanoid skull, and then his old being is like behind it. We kind of try to push that along on the other creatures as well. Like this guy has like this kind of brain kind of thing that opens up, And this guy also has like other layers where he can like open up and scream at you.
And then I think
Mr.
another
Gravity
big
over
difference
here.
in terms of like animation and so on is also that they're quadrupeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of these animals, only or
Edge Stalker, he's edging.
Yep.
But maybe we should go back to the creeper and just try to
Shoot
maybe we
it.
could spawn a couple of them so we can see them
Sure.
moving around.
Let's go here.
It's probably a lot easier.
Yeah, there is. There's more stuff in there. To go.
So this is like
Fucking hell, that's gonna. Oh, that's like an hour. I just looked at a screenshot. That's gonna last an hour.
We have a lot of other enemies that we are also working.
Yeah, so.
Oh my
look
god,
at them
they're
go!
so low to the
You
ground.
have the creepers.
They're like wide. Oh, he's shooting. He's shooting the gun.
That's like a pew pew.
I like the way that. I really
really
like the way that feels.
Yeah.
I can feel the way it feels through the screen.
How are they different from a grunt and deep rock? They're a little bit faster.
That weapon is very like dumb.
they're the way they move is different. Of course, their
Yeah.
shape is also different. In
All
terms-
these
they're
evil
taller than the
pistols that we
grunts,
saw, I guess
I
they were
mean,
just the first.
So these enemies,
the ones they knew they were doing.
were actually made, you could say, side by side with DRG enemies. Originally, we also even played around with having.
Oh my
some
god,
I wanted to
the hell
accidentally
is a
spawn
full
something.
gore vomiter?
We ended up taking them out.
I wanted to accidentally spawn something you shouldn't. Because I assume that they're all like not finished though.
They are tougher.
That's the
They
thing.
hit harder.
Yeah.
They are harder to kill. Though of course, again, in Rogue One,
Completely
in
like
DRG,
impossible
dark
to
roads.
see until
So
they're
you-
like
you
there.
start with
So
something
dark,
that
isn't
is kind of a challenge, and then as you power up, these things become.
Yeah, so you're gonna start actually feeling that the game is way harder in the beginning than if you, for example, are a veteran, has a trio as a 4-player in Deep Rock Galactic.
Blue
you're
Bloods!
gonna feel the
Oh,
game is-
Purple Blood,
you're gonna-
sorry.
You're gonna have to, put up a fight here.
Yes, and again, right, because you're starting.
reload
and
it
again,
differently.
This is also kind of running. With
Yeah,
these,
I
with
noticed
flames,
that.
Right? They are.
Maybe it's like
kind of
maximum
can
heat
be-
or
they can be
something
sent
like
with
that. I don't
barely
know.
nothing, like they have their
You have to, like-
pickaxe and whatever gun they could find, right? And so it is.
I
this
hope they're
thing
going
that
to
you-
do
you
that for all of
start
these
off,
ones
quite
where they spawn them
limited,
in. I hope so.
And yeah.
Wait, it's like a stun
But
aura.
let's move on to
around
the
one of them.
Scorcher.
Yeah, the Scorcher.
And let's try to see that. So that is more like
Result boom tick.
I'm not looking at those at the moment. I'm not
Yeah, so the Scorcher is
we'll get to that.
It is an enemy that kind of stays in an intermediate range. They're not trying to come up in front of you.
It's not exactly a
but they're not
slasher.
They're not staying too far away either.
God, I
and they have
fucking love them so much.
Oh, look, that's what they are. They're cunts.
Harassing role.
Yeah, they're fucking horrible, but like.
But at the same time, they are quite.
Oh
fast.
my god, it's exactly what I was hoping for.
They're like
and
mid-range
so,
spreaders, which
again,
means they won't be like hiding behind
compared
cover
to,
as much.
A more further away stationary sniper kind of thing. They are not it.
See, they're not
They
exactly
also can come
spreaders,
in,
but
in larger waves and.
Yeah, you get more. You get a
they
lot of these
are
guys at once. That's how you would get
enough that you could
like
deal with them
suppressive
with,
fire
strong
against
AoE
you.
and
It'd be like a horde of
things like
them.
that, so, yeah.
Because I imagine they will appear in
staying at
slasher
a
numbers. I think they are still the
Staying
slasher
at a
equivalent.
distance, harassing, they are important targets because you cannot really ignore them because they will chip your health very
They look like the
quickly, and
Cloverfield
focusing on
monster.
Things that are coming forward to you.
I don't know if you know what that is.
All right, then we move over to the Clamorhead,
Yes.
and this is this big boy here.
Okay, so they are going to do all of them, I think. Because I mean, this is the guy we saw in that concept art, obviously.
And, you see here.
Oh Jesus
How are you
Christ!
anyway?
He's too slow.
This is a slower target, right? I mean, it is working together in.
That was such a long charge up.
Okay, you can't actually do anything to it at the moment.
For DRG players, they will see plenty of similarities with the role of the Praetorian.
Yeah, it's
that is again
Praetorian.
because these they are doing important things in the combat.
I can't tell if that bag is a weak point or not, because he's not shooting it much.
And this is very much work in progress. I promise to say this from some of the
Oh, yeah.
artists. So they're like this guy
yeah,
is
I mean-
sliding around and is
Yeah.
getting through terrain.
Yeah.
So please bear with us about this. The other thing is, for example, it is.
Oh,
having
but this environment also is
sonic
completely new.
attack,
Um,
and a lot of effects
just
is missing.
thought I should
here.
know.
So
Yeah.
His face has been
we're showing
broken.
you stuff way earlier than we
Is it?
are
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's so cool.
That is what we're doing here.
Again, yeah, exactly. It's just so that you can actually see where
Can
where the
break
game
his
is.
fucking
You try
face
not to show
open.
things that are completely broken, because that would.
See though, that's that next thing that's just I don't know why
That
that's
was the,
just
that was the,
This is a
yeah.
hard,
That,
harder to
what
kill
is that?
enemy that again can threaten a group of
I hate
reformers when
it.
they are
I
stuck
hate it.
together. And
It's got arms.
Kind of when engaging.
No, it's got like actual arms.
Because it has this weak spot
on
on its belly on the front.
It looks like a gaff.
So first off, you can't if only the top of it is showing, you can't shoot that. So you need to sometimes get close and watch out for things getting in the way. And then you have to be in the danger zone to damage it. So again, it's something where you can move out.
I didn't notice it's like actual eyes,
And it also has
glowing eyes.
Right?
It has a lot of armor and it has a lot of health.
All right. Then we have the Edge Stalker.
Yes.
And I think the Edge Stalker is interesting because it was actually you who had this idea that can we bring a gunfight to the caves of Hoxus? So
Was he gonna hold a gun? Was he gonna
highly mobile shooting enemies?
Yes, that also that stay at long range and they have a behavior. So right now, of course, you have one, which is going to make it much more manageable.
God.
But the thing, they're not trying to rush you. They are instead trying to.
It's quite fast.
Stay at a good distance. Constantly move. They move. I don't know.
I'm never hitting that thing in a million years.
But. Yeah, they move.
Oh, that
move
was a
sideways
bigger crit.
when they're looking at you much more than they move.
He's
forward.
trying not to hit the flying
exactly.
things.
They like to strafe, and they also they kind of they are more aggressive when if they are behind you or on the side. So often, especially when you fight multiple of them, they will start to flank and do these kind of things.
Yeah, and I think when an Edge Stalker is around, you really want to seek cover and have the possibility to put objects between you and.
Oh, we heard a line
exactly.
as well.
It's an enemy
getting hit.
From which you need to see cover,
the
and
dwarf.
it's not super fast to kill.
No.
So this is you are exchanging fire with them. And they are both priority targets, but also targets that are not easy to instantly.
Oh, I don't like that
so,
spine.
Often, at least right now when we're playing, depending on the situation and the environment, you may simply need to move the fight into a place where you are in cover, so you can deal with the smaller enemies. Because you can't just go and kill the one or two Edge Stalkers. They don't spawn in very large groups because otherwise it gets completely crazy. But so you instead saying, oh, we have to kill them. No, we just have to get away from move the fight somewhere else, or perhaps also move to a place where you can force them to come out into an easier way to kill them.
Yes, but that was the Edge Stalker.
That was the Edge Stalker.
Should we move on? Should we see the last two?
To spawn them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have time?
Yes.
I do the chat wants to see the last two in movement? I think they do.
Okay.
Let's just spawn.
The chat says yes.
Yes. So let's do the Thrasher.
Let's
He almost clicked on something he shouldn't have done.
So this is a different family.
It's a different family, yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Family, but yeah.
Oh look, it's a Brundle.
These are like.
Oh my god, that's
Perfect.
fucking awesome.
Push you, so they're charging you.
Well, it's very similar to a Phantom actually from Minecraft, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
Exactly.
is.
I like that.
Their weak points are kind of more on the side, so shooting directly.
On the
when
side.
they're charging at you. The
So you
exact,
dodge to the
straight
side
post
and then you can hit the
part is
weak
actually
point.
armored.
I understand.
So it's more about moving to the side as you kill them. They're not super hard to kill.
No.
But
So that's a
they
definitively a
are,
projectile.
example of
It's quite
a,
fast, but
very
those are
high priority
projectiles in
target
that gun.
Because this is an enemy that you cannot ignore, or if you ignore it, they will kill you very quickly, because they have a pretty high frequency.
Look, he just did
attack.
2 different gunsling animations in a row.
Run
out of ammo.
Like they're they can hit you very well because they
Almost
charge,
cheating some more ammo.
They can even adjust a little bit, although you can sidestep them if you actively do so.
And this was the small one, right?
This is the small one, and then there's a big one.
Also a big one, yeah.
The big one.
That's gonna hit you way hard.
And there are more. There's another one. Augmenter.
I mean, the small ones, of course, are disruptive, but the big one is an enemy that generally the team needs to focus on. So this is where
so fucking good.
you have an enemy that is very disruptive. So when it comes,
The animation's already
out,
fantastic
how
on
you
that.
can deal with it, because
Yeah.
it is not something that
It's just swimming through the sky. It's just fucking awesome. Oh,
It
oh.
also displays
Get fucking said.
So it's an airborne oppressor, really, isn't it? With that.
if you're trying exactly. So if you're trying to hide behind a crystal or something like that, it will smash through that crystal.
It can smash through terrain.
It does need line of sight.
Crystals, by the sounds of it. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not like hard terrain. It's probably different.
It also, again, when we're talking about having these objectives that you need to do down in the caves, this is an example of an enemy that makes it that, well, the dwarves...
That's like they built a species around what we thought the Brundle should be.
And here's an enemy that's kind of like... is there
to like, shut us up.
You have to move out of the way. It does a lot of damage. I mean, of course,
and again, it's also easier to deal with if you're too...
God, that's actually really far.
Spot on the side, so...
Exactly. That kind of pattern is more exaggerated on the ramp.
Death animation could do with a bit still.
Well, that's the gun using disintegrate damage. Meaning does that.
No, yeah, but it was still like moving while it died. Like waving.
Well, they're supposed to at least rise when they're being disintegrated.
Solo or multiplayer, right? I mean, you figure out.
No, but it was just the animation continued while it was dying. For them, I hope they plummet to the ground dramatically and then despawn.
Well, we were going for some kind of flying squid-like thing, much also a bit inspired by the Matrix squids.
Yeah, actually, them things.
It should be a mix of hard elements and soft elements. And of course they're kind of a bit magical in that way that they float around, even though they're like huge.
Magic, yeah.
And we also like having like parts that open up, so we can make some nice looking or nice sounding screams on these guys as well.
Do you have a favorite of the creatures that we are looking at?
Of all the creatures? I mean, so for me, I think my favorite is the Edge Stalker, because of the kind of gameplay that it brings.
Because you're an edger.
When kind of prototyping, I had a lot of fun trying to like fight 3 of them, and then suddenly I have to like run from cover to cover and things like that, which was for me a fun thing. So it has a special place in my heart in that way.
What about you, Jacek? Do you have a favorite?
Well, I actually also like the Edge Stalker, but that's mostly because he's so very different and so scary. We were really going for it to try and make him.
I think he's clearly a standout.
I mean, it is the menace, I think, especially because of how different
but
it looks from the others.
I actually like the rest
Still
of
being
as well,
a cool
and the
spawn.
way it moves and flies around. It feels very organic.
How about you?
Yeah, but I think the Creeper or the Scorcher, I think is that they're doing different things, but I really think that having the Creeper as a base enemy, they are really creepy.
Where are the Griffins?
Creepy Creeper.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think this thing when you have like a horde of them crawling on the ceiling.
Yeah, and because they are quadrupeds, I mean,
so
or bipeds almost, right?
It just looks very, very creepy. And,
oh my god!
Really nice.
Someone just in the chat. Is this an entire new game or an update? Question mark? Question mark?
I think play like when Anas is the one that made the Scorcher, and I think like when he first put it in the prototype and played, it was super cool when they came in. Kind of how they augmented the fights to have this intermediate range enemy. Again, in DRG we have a little bit something like that with Mechterra, but they are very specific. They have their own thing going on, and this is something that is highly mobile. It's on the walls and all over the place, so it really added like a new thing.
Yeah. All right, but I think maybe we're done talking about enemies now, and maybe we should just talk a little bit about the classes.
Yeah, probably.
Well, maybe.
Look how low down he is as well.
For a while.
Minus 5,980.
So I mean, clearly, Deep Rock Galactic has the 4 classes: Gunner, Driller, Engineer, Scout.
It's time to break the mold.
More than 4 classes in Rogue.
Yes.
And
oh shit!
We have to start somewhere, right? And right now we have 5 classes that we are working on.
Are they 5?
Some of them are better than others.
That's one more than 4.
Change.
Sure. I mean, these aren't even the only 5 that we've been going through a process of making prototypes, trying them out. I mean, looking at mechanics again. Some mechanics,
I don't even know if he's still being recorded. He's just.
I hope he doesn't know. I hope he thinks he stopped recording him.
Before we're going to show 2 classes for you now. But before we go into that, I just want to say right now a class in Rogue Core is a dwarf with a special ability.
Yes.
And that ability is mainly tied to some mechanics on his left arm.
Yeah, maybe some kind of implants or something like that.
Some implants or something like that.
Yeah.
and that he can use, and it's often timed, and it has recharged, and then you can mix it into your combat style, and it will affect that kind of combat style. The class can also consist of think about like perks, active perks or passive perks. Like
think about perks.
Galactic. That is also part of forming the class. And then obviously there will be a lot of meta upgrades and so on. That will also help you like mold or shape your class.
Yeah, exactly. But so kind of.
Have you noticed the flares don't look exactly the same?
as you come in.
Well, because they can't be color locked, can they? Or like, yeah, they are also like smaller or
slightly
weirder.
different design. I have noticed it.
Yeah, maybe you can.
They did kind of say that they're gonna like slightly redesign everything, so it feels different.
It's a guy that has like a plasma.
Oh, this is class.
Oh, crap now!
That has an attack that slices in front of him and sends out that plasma and kills enemies.
Oh, you bitch!
Like that.
That was a lot of damage.
That was. Oh, look at him! He's writhing. He's got his head cut off.
So it is sort of like clear the area around me, kill everything.
Exactly. And it is melee.
That is
so
absolutely screaming.
That may upgrades that may affect melee or melee that have melee.
They're doing melee.
Or again, things that also work with enemies that are close. These are all.
What sort Scoot's leaving because he can't. He's gonna ruin it.
That was earlier. That was quite. That was like a while ago. He said that.
Why didn't you say it, you fucker?
Because I'm watching this.
All right. But should we move on to the? So I mean, that's the slicer for you.
That's the slicer.
That's a strong candidate for me already.
Like you said, we are looking.
A sword, Monkey says.
We're gonna expand what a class is, but right now in Rockcore, this is what it is, and yeah.
Whoa!
Then let's move over to the Falconeer.
Sure. Yes.
The what? The Falconer?
So there are all five there, by the way.
Sort of like
I did think that.
Oh, it's okay. It's going to be a drone. It's not going to be an actual bird.
Interpretation of the word Falconeer. So
that's got unique gauntlet.
A reclaimer.
Oh yes, very good.
Yeah, a drone on his arm.
He's pointing.
And he can send that out and he can call it back. And
wow.
That lands on his arm again.
Look at him
Absolutely
go.
fucking them guys up.
He is. He's actually really. He's fucking doing work.
These powers are strong as hell.
But yeah, so
dude, spawn the wall mouth.
Like, yeah, you get to send out this drone. It has an electrical attack. So
wall mouth might actually just be a rift,
damage,
technically.
For example, across, on a single target, you can choose a target. You can send it out without a target, at which point it will select targets automatically. You can make it change targets, and it does two things, right? It can of course help you kill things, but it can also give you crowd control. As well as bringing in electricity, which then again can be used as a kickoff point for other effects and effect chains happening.
Now I am looking at what they've got.
For example, for this one, and this
Krizik boomstick.
Tell a little bit about the process, right? We have a lot of ideas, and a way to further expand this is that we have been talking about, like, could it, for example, remote revive and fellow reclaimer that's
yeah, so
down.
you could send it and it would like use up all its charge.
Exactly. So instead of going
this has absolutely been something that's been suggested for like alternate engineer stuff.
Robot bird.
Yeah.
But that's what Roadcore is. It's the opportunity to do that stuff.
So yeah, and then
as well.
I mean, we have multiple other classes.
We do, but I mean, again, these.
And
are the
we've
ones
seen
that,
the names of them,
right
which
now
I'm sure we'll get into at some point.
I can't remember. I did. Yeah, I did see some.
I saw one that was called Gorgon, which.
We'll see. We'll have a look because that might be the player name, but
later, right? So we're not spoiling everything.
No.
I hope that you think there's a lot here to digest. So
sure.
Yes. But do you have anything to add on the classes, Jacek, or?
I mean, we also
everyone
right
wants
now
to press
they wear
V.
just some of the vanity armor from DRG, but we are working on like some cool armors that support the class's design.
Yeah.
To make them unique and
yeah.
Yes, but it's not in. It's not in yet.
No.
All right, but
there you
I
go.
don't know. Should we do a Q&A now?
I think we're ready for that.
I think we're ready for that.
Okay.
So we're back on camera now, and I think
Relax
that
now.
maybe Jacek, we should just say goodbye to Jacek. And
bye, Jacek.
Then
maybe.
we're ready for some question, and we have Jacob.
Do we have a question?
Sitting, behind the screen here.
No,
Mark.
hi, Mark.
Mark, sorry.
Hi, Mark.
Not
Jacob's right there as well.
Yeah, he's right here as well.
Hi.
But
only he's saying because we could potentially get one asked.
From the chat while you guys have been presenting. And one of the first questions I want to ask is why is Rogue Core a separate game and not in normal Deep Rock?
Well, it actually started as an attempt from us to make an expansion for Deep Rock. But as we started developing it, we really wanted to be set free from what Deep Rock Galactic is. And I think we are right now, we are tearing guns apart. I mean, we are the fact that we don't have the legacy of Deep Rock Galactic to constantly maintain while we are doing this is a huge liberation, and it's also something that we are really excited about, doing a new game instead of just doing an expansion.
Yes.
So it is a different game that we're doing.
No.
It is. I mean, it's not the same.
No, but I think another thing was that kind of because again it started with the expansion and that kind of what we started prototyping, and very quickly, like you're saying, right? I mean, there were all these constraints, and I mean constraints are good, but this was really a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it was really trying to design this within the framework of DRG, right? So you'd be on the space rig, you have all these DRG systems. How do they affect this game mode, this new game mode, this rogue light or whatever game mode that DRG would get? So you have, which class do you take? How and so you kind of told me to like try. Forget all that, right?
Yeah.
And so we did an experiment where what would we do with the Rogue Core if we didn't have to consider DRG whatsoever, right? I mean, we're still using DRG, it's still in the universe, all that stuff, but anything goes. And that was very liberating. That was also created for a better experience.
It made the game instantly better.
Yes.
Like the second we sort of like let go of Deep Rock.
Yep. And then the other thing on top of that was that kind of by having this Rogue Core be its own game, we are able to also not consider, if you like DRG and you bought DRG, and then we put into it this new game mode that is, I mean, the thing is, Rogue Core doesn't play like DRG. I mean, like, yes, the controls are the same and stuff like that, but it is actually a different game, and it's not necessarily like DRG is not something that we can just keep shoving things into. It is its own game. It has an identity, and I think we also need to respect that and maintain it.
Yeah, I mean,
technical debt's a myth.
We can talk a lot about this, but I mean, we have really been like going over this decision so much, and I think actually in the video on some of the content you have seen today, there is like in the drop pod, there's a terminal where it says BXE.
Yes.
What does this BXE stand for?
Oh, you have to ask Jens Emil.
Oh, that's best expansion ever. And I'm just saying that's where we're coming from.
Yeah.
Now it's standalone.
Now it's a standalone.
Yeah.
It's better for it.
We have a new question. So, Das Scrooge over on Twitch asks, what will the runtime of a mission generally be? It seems like there's more to do, so can we expect it to be longer than Deep Rock Galactic?
Yes.
Yes, but also, I mean, so we are playing around, and again, like I said, we're not ready to talk about the greater structure of the game, where different missions, we're calling them runs, just for like to differentiate from DRG missions and stuff like that. But there is space for short, long, very long. I mean, all of these things are currently on the table. We of course have to make decisions on this and figure out what is best for the game. But yeah, I think on average, longer than the average mission.
But then again, the game is also harder, so sometimes you don't get as far.
That's true. Also shorter than the average mission.
And then it's actually shorter than the average mission. So it that depends, right?
Yeah.
But I like completing a run.
Yeah.
Will take you anywhere between, I'm just like saying 40 minutes to 1.5 hour. Maybe not as long as 1.5 hour, but potentially we'll see in the future.
I mean, we also had long ones right now. I mean, the run we have right now in the game, right? We have two runs. We have an easy one and a hard one, but they're actually both similar length, and those are running. I mean, and again, depending how fast you run through them.
Yeah.
But you're looking at about 35 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And on that note, maybe you answered this actually, but is it a run can last forever kind of roguelike, or is it the you can actually win kind of roguelike?
Right now, it is a you can win kind of thing. You finish the run, you get to an end. There is a thing. This facility has been reclaimed,
Yeah, and I think we are a little bit again, like, I mean, we say this is Deep Rock Galactic with a roguelike spin, and I think we are doing with the roguelike genre what we want to.
Yes.
Which means that we are not literally saying that there is one run and it's permadeath, and then you have to start over and it's beating that single run. I think we are gonna probably end up with a structure that is more open, with a little bit more, what can you say, experiences of success.
Yes. I mean, I think both of us really like being able to actually succeed and complete instead of, and stuff like that, and also kind of the systems that we're using. Like I think the idea of having different runs or different facilities is something that I think the system allows us to do. So I think we definitely want to explore that.
Yeah. But again, this is a bit too early for this. Again, we have mainly been focusing on the in-game, making one run, making progression in one run work.
Exactly.
So the whole meta, the whole structure thing is something that we have a little bit in front of us.
In the future, yeah. Icepair asks, will the dwarves have the same voices in Rogue Core?
That is our plan right now. Yeah.
All right, then we got a
very
question
short
from,
answer.
Crash My Car, who asks, what will the price point for Rogue Core be? Will there be a bundle/discount for existing Deep Rock owners?
That is a little bit early for us to talk about. But I don't know. I don't know.
No,
but I mean,
we haven't talked about
it's gotten dark
No,
outside
I mean,
there.
It will be comparable to the genre or Deep Rock
At
Galactic
2 p.m.
price, right?
No, yeah, I mean, reasonable, right? I mean, we will of course do our best to make sure that it is reasonably priced for what it is. Cool. Okay, we have a more gameplay-specific question from Dalava. He asks, will the ammo be more limited? How will resupplying work?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so yes, it is more limited right now, especially, again, depending on what you choose. There is, you could say, kind of like, Roker gives a bit more rope to the player, and they have to be careful what they do with that rope. You can get in trouble in regards to ammo. Again, there are also, depending where you take your build, you can also be in a good place regarding to ammo.
So what we
like
do,
an ammo build.
In the game,
Ammo
like
build.
we have in Deep Rock. So instead, we are placing.
I wonder if you could be like an
crates
ammo
in the
mule
caves,
for other players.
So you can find ammo as you move through a level in a run. There's also the option that you can skip upgrades and get ammo instead of taking an upgrade.
Yeah, you get a kind of like an ammo bag, an ammo box that you carry with you, and then you can put it down for the team to use.
Yes, so put it on the ground and everyone can get a bag of ammunition. The same goes with health, right?
Yes.
There are certain categories of upgrades where if you don't pick an upgrade, you can always get health instead.
Yeah, you heal yourself and increase
your
maximum
health.
health. Though there is red sugar.
Red
so
sugar
far.
is a part of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mauro Valente over on YouTube asks, how big of a part will terrain manipulation play in Rogue Core?
It will, I mean, traversing is still.
Well, given
a
that we can
big part
slice
of,
stuff apart now.
Yes, but so a big thing with Rogue Core is that the pacing is a bit different from DRG. So if you're talking about extreme terrain manipulation, where you spend, minutes preparing an area for a battle, that I think, while totally possible in Rogue Core, I mean, all the tools are still there. That would be a pretty a big chunk of time that you as a player use. And so I think, at least while we're playing it, we find ourselves not doing that too much. Doing a little bit, if I have the drills and we need to fight in an area and stuff like that, might make a little more space. Same thing with the platform gun again, watching out for
Like a pace, basically.
area to fight. But not
You won't stay in the same room for too long.
I think we are basically trying to, I would say, not stress the players, but we are trying to push them forward.
Yes.
In the game, right? And we're doing that by if you're staying in a level, eventually, it's not going to be healthy for us to stick around on that level. So you will need to move on, and so basically, how you progress through a run is that when you start, you will have this power cable running from the entrance room
Yeah.
through the whole level, and it will run down to an elevator.
Yes.
And that's basically your main goal in a stage.
My main goal.
To get to that elevator.
Yes.
And you have this cable running through the level as a breadcrumb, or and you can just follow that, and then we end up at the elevator, right? But obviously you're not just doing that because you want to mine Expanite, do events, level up.
Yeah, you need
before
to be strong enough.
Collecting guns or whatnot, right? So you're not just running through the level, or if you are getting behind the power curve, you can say, of the game.
Yeah.
So you really want to level up before you leave. But on the other hand, the game gets more and more dangerous the longer you stay and stick around in a level. Yes. So you definitely also want to keep moving.
Yeah. So again, Rogue Core is much more about a game where you, more so than in DRG, although this also happens in DRG, where you sometimes have to make decisions of do we have time to do this, or do we have the ammo to do this?
Yeah.
Can we do this? Should we move on?
Yes,
and
always
making
yes.
The right or wrong decision there can make a big difference, right?
Totally.
So yeah.
Okay, we got a question over from iCobra on YouTube. You guys mentioned that it's roguelike. Could you provide a rough outline of what power we could expect to hold on to between dives? Is it class or account based?
It will. I'm not sure this thing about holding onto powers.
I think he just means permanent progression.
Yeah, so permanent progression. We're gonna have that, and it is gonna be. Some of the permanent progression, I think, will be for all of your classes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just using Deep Rock Galactic as a reference here. Yeah. For example, when you are unlocking perks, the perks you unlock can
Stop
be
mentioning
used for all
perks.
your classes, right? Yeah. But on the other hand, you're also unlocking the perk slots by leveling up one class, right?
Yes.
So I think we are gonna go for something similar that is both class-based and is player-based.
Yeah. Both will be good.
But it could also be tied to progression that was tied to items in the game, maybe.
Again, you're asking a question about something that we are not really ready to talk about. This is something that we are currently in the process of designing, discussing.
I like the idea that sitting in front of them are their familiars.
We have not made decisions on this yet.
No.
Paytov on YouTube asks, do you fear your community mixing and matching terms from both games, leading to confusion for newer players?
Not sure. Do you have an example?
No, I'm thinking with the similarities to Deep Rock Galactic and some of the elements carrying over or being the same, like traversal tools and stuff. Do you expect some sort of confusions between the two games?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's so you're playing Rogue Core and you think you're playing Deep Rock Galactic, or you're playing Deep Rock Galactic and you think you're playing Rogue Core.
I mean, maybe it means when people talk about they talk about the zip line, and you're talking about the zip line in Rogue Core, you're talking about the zip line in DRG. I mean,
there was something about him using the zip line and it sounding exactly the same.
It's
felt a bit too close to home.
If it's in Call of Duty or if it's in Halo. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure I 100% understand the question, but obviously when we are talking about Rogue Core, we really want to emphasize that we're talking about Rogue Core and not Deep Rock Galactic. So in that regard, yes, we are aware that we try to avoid confusion talking about Rogue Core and making sure that this is not Season 6, this is not Deep Rock Galactic, this is its own thing that we are working on here.
But I mean, also to further just, I mean, we have already set up, although of course right now it's still pretty quiet, but we set up different forums, different places for people to talk about the games, right? So again, because Rogue Core is its own thing, we're not trying to create a Rogue Core section in the
and even though I think we are doing a little bit of double communication, but I think if you are out there and you are a fan of Deep Rock Galactic and you were not aware that we were working on Rogue Core, I think you should definitely go in and wishlist Rogue Core on the Steam page, where there's a Steam store already.
Yeah, there's some info there.
Actually, we also we are gonna update the Steam store for Rogue Core with a lot of the assets that you have seen today.
Yes.
It looks a little bit outdated right now, but it will be up to date in the following days, in the coming days.
We have a question from that MF Don't Miss over on Twitch. He asks, wouldn't it cause infighting with randoms on the topic of upgrading and that whole co-op selection?
Potentially, yes. We are trying again. I think it is something you need to experience.
Yes.
We are Deep Rock Galactic has, I mean, a lot of the reason why the co-op is so good in Deep Rock Galactic is because there's a lot of friction points. And what is being asked about here is, isn't this generating friction points? And the answer is yes, it is generating friction points.
That is the point, though.
And that is the point. The point is that you should care about your fellow reclaimers. What is your teammate? What kind of upgrade is relevant for your teammate? And you should feel, hopefully, you should feel enjoyment about making your teammate more powerful. And sometimes that means that you're giving up on the best of the objectively best of the upgrades and giving it to a friend instead of taking it yourself.
All my teammates to be weak as possible.
Consider what is the point of the upgrading, and the main goal, right? The goal is to beat the run. The goal is to reclaim the facility. And you're not going to reclaim the facility by having a team that doesn't work, or by simply making yourself as powerful as you possibly can.
And then you go down. And you're
if that is true, that would be really fucking cool. That it is literally one man cannot become strong enough to beat it.
That is also what
like if that is true, that would be really cool.
Interesting dynamics
and interesting discussions if you are on a voice chat, right? But even, I mean, that you are actually sitting and talking about, well, I can use this, and this is really good for my build, and or this is really good for your build.
Yeah. So. Or I mean, and again, like just anecdotally, right? Some situations you have that, I mean, depending on what you're doing with upgrades and the equipment and stuff like that, you may come to a point where, for you, you know, you have maybe 2 upgrades that would work perfectly well with what you're doing, but you have a teammate where only one of these works well for them, right? So then, of course, it makes sense that you take the one that they don't need, even because both work for you.
I may or may not be cutting the fingers off a pair of gloves at the
instead of
moment.
only one growing in power, right?
But anyways, we have a small like system where you can put a heart on an upgrade you really want.
Oh, that's still retained.
And then
actually, I think we saw that. I think I saw the hearts.
Honor that heart, or they cannot do it, but you can communicate it without voice chat. That I really want this.
Yes.
There's a lot of trust placed in the community.
Okay. Lapis over on YouTube asks, will it be a seasonal live service game like Deep Rock Galactic, or will it be more like a one and done type of game?
So I think that's an impossible question to ask, and that's if we look at Deep Rock Galactic, we never designed Deep Rock Galactic to be a live service game.
No.
It turned out to be a live service game, and we were running it as a live service game.
Yeah,
is running it as a live service game.
Yeah.
But it is not something we were planning, and I think there is. And so I'm not gonna commit to Rogue Core being a live service game, because what is a live service game? Well, it's a lot of mechanics that makes you come back and play the game over and over again. And right now we are spending all our time on just making a fun core game. And not spending time on what will players play in 5 years, right?
No.
So we are not considering or entertaining thoughts about live service games at all. We're just focusing on making the best game out of Rogue Core.
Cool. Gorgolio asks, will there be boss fights in Rogue Core?
I would know this actually, yeah.
And we are working on a couple of boss fights. It is very difficult, I think, to do boss fights. We have a lot of experience with boss fights from Deep Rock Galactic, and it's always very time-consuming and challenging to do. But it is a roguelike, and obviously we're gonna have boss fights and bosses to beat.
The procedural environment, the way we have it, right, and it brings its own challenges.
I mean, more than the core spawn, those flying things, I want to see a boss of those.
Yeah. Anyway, but
like
yes, there will be bosses.
Blimp.
And on that topic, I guess, Archidog asks, will it get harder by time or by depth in a mission?
I think both.
Yeah, so exactly what we're seeing is, well, what we can say is what it is right now, right? Kind of, and here we definitely have difficulty increase by depth, and what we also have is a non-permanent difficulty increase by time. So the difficulty in this specific stage of the facility gets there comes to a point where you have to get out. But then when you come to the next one,
you're good to go.
You again have some time to explore and do stuff. So
I think when you're working on a roguelike, there's always this like balance between playing the game and not immediately as you step into game and you make a misstep that you can foresee. Now I'm never gonna.
It's the end of the world.
I mean, I just quit the game now because I have no chance, right?
I do that a
and
lot
I think we
in
want
Hades.
to have a roguelike where you can have like victories, or you can be like make mistakes, but then you can recover from them. So yeah,
no, I think it's very important, especially when we look at it in a co-op setting, right? I mean. I think double.
And I think I don't know. This is it's always very difficult. But again, I'm just emphasizing here that we are making we're doing our own take on what a roguelike is, and maybe the game is it's going to be harder than Deep Rock, but maybe it's going to be easier than what you are imagining right now. A roguelike Deep Rock Galactic will be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there going to be neutral wildlife, considering how hostile this deeper layer seems to be?
So right now there isn't, and again, I think for sure there is a question here in terms of what do you call it, the story, the setting that we're building up there. So
what happened in the Grey Out?
Yeah.
When they lost contact with the mining facilities.
Yes.
So why are there no glyphids?
Right? Why are there no glyphids?
Yeah. The mystery.
Anyway. Rankater over on Twitch asks, will the gameplay heavily rely on upgrades to keep up with the monsters? For example, how likely is it that players will be able to win a run without taking upgrades? Will it be very difficult or straight up impossible?
Impossible, I would say.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've been amazed by some Deep Rock players how good they really are playing the game, right? Yeah. So we should never say impossible, but I mean, obviously the intent is that it matters that you are upgrading. Otherwise, it is not interesting to.
Are you challenging me?
But it is an action game, and therefore, what you can do with the keyboard and mouse plays a big impact, right? Whereas, of course, if it was a purely math-based game, then either yes or no. So here, I mean. How many upgrades you need to do what depends on how good you are.
Okay. Rat Enjoyer asks, will you add cosmetic packs?
Rat Enjoyer.
How you implemented this system to the original game, sleek and hidden until the player wants to see them.
I think this maybe I think this falls a little bit into the other question about live service game. Yeah. Right now, we are very much focused on just making the best game we can of Rogue Core and not focus so much on cosmetic DLC. So
I mean, like. Exactly. That has come later.
Can you say whether there will be beer in the game?
Most likely, yeah.
I mean,
come on. You can say yes to that.
You might have to do push-ups to get beer, though.
Right, I think we'll do one more question. We have one here from Google Messages who asks, will stages have the chances of having mutators/modifiers on them, like with Deep Rock Galactic and then mutators in missions like low oxygen and low gravity and stuff like that?
And I think we'll also bring in, of course, a lot of new mutators that or warnings, I think, and things, whatever we're gonna call them. But yes, I think that's definitely going to be an important part of the game.
What about cross progression? Can we expect any cross progression between Deep Rock Galactic and Rogue Core?
No, and I think
don't expect it. No,
and don't expect that. And I
you
think
look scared.
This is exactly why we wanted to make a standalone game out of Rogue Core.
Yes.
Because the demand, if it was an expansion for progression and cross progression between these, would have been so high, and we really had a hard time making it make sense.
No, and of course, while I mean, again, Rogue Core is its own game, and we make it to be its own game, and there'll be people that buy Rogue Core that maybe don't want to play Deep Rock Galactic, and that's fine. Of course, we would love for people to play our games and stuff like that, but I mean, I think it'd be annoying. It's like, oh, to unlock this in Rogue Core, you have to go.
I think it is like, I mean, right now we have done a board game and we have done Deep Rock Survivor together with Fun Day, right?
Yeah.
And it's not really like we are worried that because people are playing Deep Rock Survivor, they're not playing Deep Rock Galactic, right? I mean, or if they are, fine.
Cool. Okay. Last question, guys. Ooh. When are we going to have early access for Rogue Core?
So the plan right now is Q4 25.
Early access Q4, yeah.
No.
That's in a year.
That's it for the Q&A.
Oh, right, sorry, I forgot what early access was.
A little bonus
in alpha.
There, which is that we are, we need to plan for an alpha.
A closed alpha.
A closed alpha for starters, yeah. That will happen well before Q4.
Yes.
Cool. But was that the last question, Mark?
That was the last one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. But then I hope you enjoyed what you have been seeing and hearing here.
Yes.
And yeah, we're just very much looking forward to continue working on Rogue Core and see where it will take us.
Definitely. And of course, I mean, if you have questions about Rogue Core and stuff like that, you could post them on our subreddit, I guess. That would probably be the place where it's easiest to catch it. And I'll go and check. And
I think now we have talked so much about Rogue Core right now, so hopefully this will be sort of like the beginning of us actually being way more active about showing what we're doing and revealing more enemies or more classes or more images from the game and so on.
Yeah. I mean,
so expect that to go up in cadence after today.
Yeah. We also had when we came back from season 5, right? It was a little bit of a rough start because we switched to Unreal 5 for Rogue Core. That went. I mean, it actually went really, really smooth, all things considered. But yeah, that was fun.
But all right, thanks for watching, everyone out there.
See you, chat.
Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching, guys. Rock and Stone.
Rock and
Stone.
Wow.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna mute it. Well, first of all, I don't want to be around too long because I'm going out tonight as well to the cinema.
Someone's getting drunk.
No, I said I'm going out to the cinema.
Get drunk. I know you, Harry.
What?
What are you talking about after? So that was something, huh?
Yeah, it definitely was. It was very. It was actually very. It was quite relaxed actually. I was not that on edge as I thought I would be, and I think that's overall a good thing. It means there was nothing like crazy, but I think that's actually okay.
I think it gave us basically exactly the amount of info we were hoping for, right? Not much more, I would say. Like, nothing too crazy.
It also gave us no, like...
Definitely enough.
Thank God. Like, just objectively speaking, no bad news. No, like, unfortunate announcement, right? But it still dispels things like secret hopes about, Deep Rock updates.
It's actually going to come out, like, now.
Yeah, or things like anything like that. It's like that stuff's gone away, but instead
with hard facts.
But instead you get a reveal of something that actually looks pretty swish. First thing I want to say about all the footage, because we'll be talking about this. First of all, get the fuck out of it, Javarag. He's doing a watch party. First thing I want to say about the footage, because we're going to go through it at some point, but the only thing I don't like about anything that we were seeing is just the presence of how much was like placeholder stuff from DRG, and that's unavoidable as well. But it made it look more like it than I think it's going to be. Especially with like the armor, because that's stuff is going to be like changed, like them wearing armor from DRG. It's like
armor. I think they I don't know. You're probably going to go over and analyze it. Word. But I swear they've basically said they're going to go through and just like redesign everything slightly, so like it just feels
see that
more in line.
You
with
see the flares even.
Yeah. It's gonna be like I don't know how exactly they mean that, but like I don't know. I think if everything just feels slightly different, like Red Sugar, for example, right now that feels like blocky, right? If in Rogue Core it's more like sharp and jagged. Like, that's really as simple as it needs to be, and, like, everything kind of just feels more dangerous.
Yeah, because, like, it's fine to see, like, the environments as well, like fungus bogs and crystalline caverns looking the same, but then you look beyond that, and when we actually look at that footage, there was an insane amount of new assets in there, just littered throughout, like, really. Yeah, and the first one was the wall is actually really fucking cool.
Sick as fuck.
It looks so alien.
Like the first thing.
Yeah, it's actually really good to be affirmed about the wall. I wasn't sure how like integral it was to what they were going for.
I never even heard them mention it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I didn't. Part of me felt like I might have done, but no, there is definitely a wall, and it's like really, it's like weird, like alien, like almost like intelligent, like scales that like ripple, and it's very weird effects. It looks really cool.
This is something that I think has reframed a lot of this in my mind. In that, like, the core, like, might not actually. Well, it's definitely not the final boss or anything like that, right? You are not going to the core. You are reclaiming a mining operation. Like, that's what they said, right? The wind state is reclaiming the place, not the core itself. You're not there to solve the entire problem. You're just there to reclaim a base. Which, I mean, that's classic Deep Rock, really. You're not that
well,
big
you
of a
think
deal.
about it, you probably wouldn't want to be going to the core and like attacking it. That actually isn't like good for business, you know. If unless like the end
Or if the
game
core's
is
fighting back,
at
you've got to
some
teach it a
point.
lesson.
At some point in DRG and Rocore's timeline, we do end up having to do something where you plant a bomb in the core. But that's like, why would they do that? They don't want to destroy Hoxies, so it'd be kind of weird to do something like that. But I do hope there are more like Hearthstone style boss fights, not about the mission, not Escort Duty esque. I just mean Hearthstone. Yeah, and we saw stuff that looked like that. Definitely.
Yeah, we saw the big orb, which they were like, "This is not the core." We're like, yeah, we fucking hope so. Imagine they just showed the core in like the gameplay fucking thing. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff, and like the idea of there being like these actually really big DRG structures in the caves, like this massive thing that you go into. It's like a fully enclosed room. The fact that picture, the one that was like, I thought it was on the ship, one of them, but it's actually underground.
Right. No. Yeah, I think it's like first thing. Like you go through the wall, and that's like the first room, and then you get like a gun that isn't the Reclaimer pistol. By the looks of it, or you could continue with the pistol. Like that was where you pick out your immediate, like, right? It was the cryo cannon and all that stuff, and then you just kind of.
I'm starting to wonder if the ambient blaster is the Reclaimer pistol at this point. The one that he was using during the demonstration.
I just find it interesting how, like, it doesn't. There's no other weapons, no other. Just a bunch of pistols are the only things that are like hard designed, right? Like they have everything like prepared for it already, and I think that it's kind of indicative that it's like done. Like that's like guaranteed. Like out the gate, you're gonna have one of these pistols. They're common as hell. Like they know that those things are going to be integral to the game or something along those lines, like to give it such confidence.
Yeah, I mean it's clear they're doing something pistol oriented. The idea of there being like multiple reclaimed weapons or pistols is like kind of actually. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've kind of said and picked up on that seem to have been coming through. Like I'm still happy that I got the core spawn crawlers were not the grunts of the game. And that there is a lower tier version, and that it seems like there aren't. It seems like there aren't glyphids. It seems like.
Yeah. That was kind of their question.
It doesn't need to be
like,
either, based on what we've seen from the enemies. It doesn't need to be, but still.
They were like, why is there no glyphid? Like it's not. It's like what has happened that it seems like the grey out, as they call it, which I feel like that's interesting because you would normally say blackout. Right, if it's all gone, but grey out specifically has also coincided with a complete disappearance of any normal known creature, right? Like that resides in the rest of the place. I don't know. It's cool.
There's something going on.
Wars.
I mean, we would get a bit carried away if we start talking about those enemies. I feel like.
Yeah, especially the ones that didn't even show. That
well, that specifically, we're not doing that. I'm not going back through it or anything like that, like and analysing stuff. I think that's what we're going to do on Saturday. I think we should do actually a very similar video to what we did last week, back to back, and next week would be a podcast instead. After we've done that, like an analysis, basically. So which means Saturday we'd probably just go through. The road course footage, like from when we first saw it in game to when we last saw it on the stream. That entire segment, because I took all the screenshots as well as they came up.
And I don't think I'd say the Q&A as well, but I don't think that was actually too
Not
juicy.
the Q&A,
to be honest.
not the Q&A. That could even be done separately. We might not do a video on that. That's not what I'm. Yeah, we're going to do like a thing similar to last week. So we'll have stuff on screen, and then like the actual gameplay footage though we'll have to do. That could actually make it take really long because we'll have to do that like live and go play it and then pause things. But everything that's the screenshots we'll do like the annotating and stuff. I definitely am interested to look back on that first bit, which was basically a trailer, actually. And they might put that out on its own as well. I mean, they'll probably put a lot of this out on its own.
Well, they said a lot of it's going to go on the Steam.
Yeah, which I'm obviously keeping an eye out for already.
Substance.
I really like the presentation too. It's basically the same as the season 5 like presentation with like the segments on the sides as they went through it, and it's like a nice border. It was very nice, very
nice,
very good presentation. Enjoyed that. Big up.
I guess I'm speechless apparently, but like I can't think of anything they showed where I'm like, oh fuck.
No.
Like none of it like gameplay wise specifically, but even like the worst part is just the stuff they haven't done yet. Right? Like you know, like the bits that they were like, yeah, this isn't a pitch, right? Or like you know, the cave looking so similar. The some of the just non-existent pictures, right? Although as funny as I would find it if in the final product the the picture was just like a little doodle. But like those are the worst stuff, and that's obviously the stuff that will go. Like anything that was there that you know they have worked on, it's fucking gold, and I'm so fucking looking forward to it.
Yeah, it reminds you how good they are at making stuff. When it's actually something like we're going to take this thing, we're going to make it, model it, animations and sounds, all that stuff. You get sort of the absolute, video game keynote that is just those enemies. That fucking the Ramo is what it's called. I forgot the name. It's like the Ravka, I think is the species. I'm not sure. We'll look at that. But the big one, the Rama, the big fucking hammerhead. I adore that thing already. I love that design. I love them.
Yeah.
They're literally just like these fucking like melee fucking floating fish. They just want to fucking headbutt you. Just that's great. And we know they've also got I will actually talk about the ones that we didn't see. There was the Augmenter was in that species. I assume that would be a
definitely
warden
sounds like
type.
Maybe
it makes them go like faster.
Because I like how they did say it themselves, or Mick said it like, it's like it's still a horde shooter, therefore you could still expect to see the same kind of roles, right?
That's the best thing about it. That is literally the best thing about it, because what that's done, it means they basically get to go like, oh, let's remake everything, but they're just new. They're new creatures, which means sure they might be the core spawn creeper might be functionally identical to a grunt, but it's still cool that it's a new design. It's going to still make it fresh. You get everything, but sort of reduxed.
And it isn't like they are both, right? It's not like there's a core spawn creeper and a glyphid, so they're filling the same spot and it's pointless. Yeah, it is just they're completely redoing it from the head up, and it's just everything
to reskin everything, which is actually better than it sounds.
Yeah, reskinning everything and being like then just default harder. Right, have more health, quicker, like stealthier, more dangerous. Like just out the gate, everything is that from the get go with the Glyphid.
I mean, it's a very good sign. It's clearly enemies are something that that's so clearly high up on the list. That's something they've got a lot of finished stuff for already. That's something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think they said it. Well, you might have been talking, but they were doing them alongside season 5. I think.
I did catch that.
Yeah, or like that was enemies was something that they were still kind of doing, like because obviously they were making enemies in 5.
Yeah,
right?
They made the first core spawn crawler. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the other stuff. So I think they just made a bunch of enemies and they included those ones.
Yeah, and then obviously you come around to like the thing like, oh, why don't they just throw them in Deep Rock? No.
So
it's not
I did
a good
think
idea.
That, but
you want it. You think you want it.
It'll be because it is like right. Think about it.
And it's gonna
Everything
be. It
that
might be a year until
they,
we get to actually fight these things from now.
yeah, well, it'll be like if season 6 was them basically adding like a bunch of stuff from roll call, it would take like 2 months, right? Like they would have everything already made. 6, but then it just wouldn't like sit right for long, right? Like the enemies would be kind of fill similar roles or like
I like
beat
that.
out stuff.
We really got based on the roadmap. It's a real hard confirmation. Season 6 won't be next year at all. That's crazy. You just can't think about it. You just can't think about it. You have to not think about it. Especially because I think they will be pumping out a lot of protocol stuff over the next year. We will see a lot more at a good pace.
Yeah,
I think we'll be okay.
Because what I haven't like set in my head, but but I'm including we because I assume you feel the same way and would want it to be we. But I have to get access to it on closed. I cannot wait until this time next year. Like that is the simple fact of the matter. Like,
oh man.
Not to mention, I mean, I don't know how closed is.
Oh, there's actually people in the chat. Hello. Well,
like if we're talking
right now.
If we're talking like closed, where your actual individual voices matter, then I mean hell yeah. But if at least it's just closed, where it's like 1,000 to 10,000 people, or something like that. Like, I don't know. I just know that.
Do someone a favor. Do this man a favor, Ghost Ship.
I need this. I don't know.
Even the abilities coming back around because I didn't think about them until they mentioned them. Obviously, that's what the classes are as well, which makes sense. The classes are main ability, but then they immediately just pulled out some trump cards there. I feel like just like let's show some stuff off. We've got a
and I feel like
laser
compare
sword.
that, dude. Compare those two that we saw, which I am actually go. Actually, I know I won't. We'll save it for the video, but compare that to what we saw in the concept art, right, from like a year ago, literally. And it was like the slowdown thing, and that was just like a watch on the arm. It clearly looks like it's evolved past that.
Well,
and
that
depending on what your ability is, really radically changes your gauntlet.
Yeah, like from the old screenshots, they made me assume that they'd all be like that. It's just a panel, and there'll be an icon to represent your upgrade and things like that. No, it's like you'll get a full, completely different looking thing based on your ability.
I don't doubt that the gauntlet might inform the rest of the dwarf. So that
they said they were designing armor to fit with them. I don't know how they'll be class-based armor or not. I assume they might be, but
yeah, probably. But that like cyber fucking neon bird of prey, the dwarf like pairing up with that. I mean, fuck, that's gonna look pretty sick. And obviously, you got the slice one, which I don't know why I'm not too pumped for that. To be honest with you,
maybe that'll change because it doesn't seem to have the sound effects in.
I'm less of a clean slash kind of melee, and
you're
more
hoping for a big fucking
heavy hammer
that's like ground pound type thing.
Or like,
maybe we'll get maybe the Gorgon will be there. I don't know.
Gorgon has piqued my interest. Realistically, that's probably like time freeze or like the turns to stone or something.
Yeah, it could be.
That'd be crazy. But I think because those classes, right? They only have 5, and it just sounds like chances are, at least on the early access, they will still only have. But
well, that's actually what I'm wondering about classes. I don't know if it's going to be a defined number. It might be something they can just.
No, classes is definitely going to be just working on, and especially by the sounds of it,
it'll
be like
too in updates.
Yeah, it'll be like they're like
unlike deep.
You design the dwarf, and you design the ability, and then you add it. Compared to classes in Deep Rock, right? Which is like a whole set of weapons, blah 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 blah, right? Like there'll be a whole wave of new things. And really though, the shit they're gonna, I might start. Because that'll be fine, right? Add more classes in that, fine, whatever. If they start adding traversal tools, like new traversal tools, that's when my stomach's gonna hurt a little bit. I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers, you bastards. Especially if like the ones they add, you could very easily like slap on Driller or something like that. I mean, that would be difficult, Driller specifically, but
yeah, I'm excited by so much, like, because also especially just like they're very very casually implementing like events in a way that's going to be like, I don't think we're going to get stuff that's like machine events and season events, but there are still going to be a bunch of bonus objectives, and I think they're just going to let themselves just go nuts with them.
Obviously not yet, not until like quite a while in. There will still be a holiday event, right? Like that will definitely be something that they will carry over into Roll Call.
I think
once there's a game there.
Maybe. Well, speaking of which,
What do you mean maybe? That's like a guarantee. They clearly enjoy doing and like having them as part of the game.
Celebrate anything. Because I really liked everything. So I didn't think we were going to see the Ramrod, and we did. And we, first of all, I mean, obviously it does this. It means that you're probably not going to make the thing as big as you could. Obviously, you could make, because the space rig is fucking huge, right? But that's why we only see such a small part of it. Ramrod.
Yeah, the Ramrod's like tiny.
It's tiny in comparison to the space rig, but what that means is we can explore the whole thing. So no matter what, that's awesome. Being able to explore the entire thing. It doesn't matter if it means it's smaller. Obviously, it's got to be smaller for that, right?
I mean, it sounds like they still want drinks and that. And we saw a Buzzco.
It was like a circular. If that was a bar, it's like a circular bar in like the middle of like a hub sort of room, which looks like the most open part of it too. I really liked all of that. The drop pod as well. I mean, they said drop pod. I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to look different, and it does. It looks much sleeker and smaller.
Because we noticed you picked up that obviously its design was a lot more, done than everything else.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of said why, in the Q&A, that was made when it was a DLC.
Oh,
like when it was going to be the add-on. Like that's what the little box in the middle said.
That makes sense,
like
because
best
they would
extension ever or something like that.
Added like another room, like another like hangar area that's like just got that drop pod in it, and it's like the DLC like room. It probably would have been quite a big area actually.
Yeah, so they like already had that model I think made back then. By the sounds of it,
that makes
carried
sense.
over.
But it looks good. It looks good. It fits with them, the Reclaimers.
Yeah, man. Oh fuck. This is what I mean though. I genuinely, I would not be able to wait fucking year.
You a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I'll forget about it in like after we record probably the next video. But like if I start thinking about it again, I fucking get my hands on it. Get my fucking hands around its neck and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking good on Ghost Ship. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's literally the most important takeaway. First of all, just because like the bad news is entirely like theoretical. It's entirely if there's bad news in this, it's entirely based on your own
preconceptions.
Thoughts, your own preconceptions. Yeah. So if you...
like the last time they didn't mislead you, with saying, "Oh, Deep Rock news," and they released something that was not Deep Rock.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And apart from that, because it's like
completely upfront.
I wasn't necessarily worried about how it would look necessarily. I still stand by what I said. I think the footage is tainted somewhat by how much placeholder stuff there is, but that's unavoidable. Yeah. But that's not the point. The thing I was looking forward to or looking out for the most, that I was most cautious about, was does all the new stuff, because it's a new game, there's going to be so much new stuff. Does that stuff actually look good? Every single thing that was actually new looked great. Every single part of it. I love the idea of procedurally generated DRG made structures. Yes, it's procedurally made structures. Yeah.
So like on top of terrain, right.
There will be terrain based. Essentially, there'll be terrain made of DRG structures, and I think that's so fucking cool. I love that. And that's definitely going to make it more unique. We are dealing with a lot, mostly the original biomes, but they're going to have core like accents laid on top.
There's going to be lots
DRG.
of like machinery.
Yep. Yeah. There's going to be loads of stuff.
Core parts, which I assume the core will get like more common the lower down you get. Right,
that's what I think.
Maybe it won't actually. I mean, I would for that.
Because in the demonstration when they were looking at the enemies, that was a completely different environment, which I assume is the core biome, and it looks similar to the stuff that was like showing up in the other biomes. I think it is going to get more like that until it's just that. I think that might be the approach, which makes sense.
And then because I thought about it during the thing, forgot about it, but luckily someone asked a question. The bosses thing, because they had no indication or mention that like you would fight bosses. In all fairness, it's never implied that like at the end of each stage, it could just be just at random intervals. There's a chance of bumping into a boss. But either way, I'm glad that that's a thing as well, because bosses are cool. Bosses are when you can like grab a design and then like amp it up, right? Like, can you imagine, like, we've already seen, like, you know, the big heavy guy of
that's the thing, but the Courseborn,
can you imagine a Courseborn boss?
Yeah, I almost can't, because you can see how willing they are to mutilate what a Courseborn can be. The fucking Edge Stalker is so different to the other ones. That was
honestly, if I had to picture a Courseborn, which, I mean, you know, this is inspiring me, but like if I picture a Courseborn, I'm thinking like a Hydra creature, where like it has like multiple of its full, like
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, I can picture a big, like a sort of one that takes a Courseborn boss that takes more after the Edge Stalker, for sure. But those things, oh man.
Especially since I think they're like everyone's favorite for some reason.
They're not my favorite.
I mean,
they're not my favorite. Even of the Courseborn, I think I just like the little naked monkey dude. But actually, you know what? I'm going to show you the Cloverfield creature.
I think I have heard of it. I mean, because they're also very demigod. Like, there's no before Matt as well.
Yeah. Wait, what am I sharing right now? Okay, that's right.
I can't see what you're sharing on Xbox.
Oh shit. Okay, then.
I thought you'd do it on stream.
I will. Well, I will. I am technically doing the stream.
All right, then I guess wait for it to catch up.
Oh, there it is. It's a pretty good PNG of him. Oh, that's the Death Battle wiki. There he is. It's very similar, actually. It's very similar.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might have been because obviously when they were designing it, in the original mentioned a bunch of inspirations and stuff like along those lines. So this could have been one of them. Cool, but yeah, very similar.
Very similar.
Man. There's, and it also, and they really slipped it in at the end, but it sounds like they also had a setback early on, right? Like they said after season 5, they switched to Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Yes. And they gave the expression that, you know, that was a struggle.
But then also it was like, well, relatively speaking, it wasn't bad. Like, it could have been like a lot worse or something.
Yeah, but still, switching to an engine, I think, is a pretty big switching to like a new engine.
Yes,
which that does bode well, if anything, just because new engine, I think, at least probably a slightly different feel, right? Newer engine, newer lighting, or someone. I don't know how it works exactly, but I know that it's probably better. And I don't know, it's just, yeah.
I do wonder if I'm wondering now. I was wondering at the time when we saw the roadmap if SNIS is technically right about what he said. He might have been, because I think that, you know, we didn't have it confirmed for.
He probably heard about that.
Yeah, we didn't have a window. We didn't actually have a window except like early access. No, sorry, pre-alpha. Sorry, I'm getting the alpha and early access mixed up. Closed alpha Q1 and then Rogue Core like release, early access release. You know, just after it. They knew it was going to be next year, didn't know when. It being Q4 is definitely like, you know,
I think what everyone was thinking anyway.
The bad, well, yeah, but it's also the bad ending of it being next year anyway. So it's pretty much as late as possible. And the closed alpha has been like pushed to the second quarter. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. So I do think SNIS is technically right. I just think basically, it's just not quick. It's just not going quickly. It's just not.
No.
It seems like things are going well, but not like fast.
I think, you know, I mean, they've had. If we are,
Well,
they have
it's
had
going
a
to be
bit
2
of
years
it.
from announcement, which
Yeah.
isn't unreasonable.
Yeah,
just being
When it
straightforward,
actually
you
comes
know?
out, yeah.
Just be straight with
And
it.
I think
It's just like that's not
within
crazy.
the context of what we just saw is like, let's be generous, 7 months. Even that is maybe probably not as generous. Less.
Well, we don't have to be too generous for it to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, like they completely created a gameplay system, right? Presumably it all works. Like you do spawn into the rod and then go down, do all that. As long as it like already works in that regard, and you know the upgrades are there. You just need to add some graphics for some of them, stuff like that. I don't know. It's so
pardon me.
Hype, definitely hype, which is annoying.
Well, yeah, because I only forgot to mention it, but even like
could we do with this hype?
The thing of almost everything getting redesigned, the flares.
Yeah.
Being a different design at all. They're there, but they look slightly different. It's like, okay, sure. Reclaim the flares, I guess, but everything's gonna look
They
slightly
don't seem
different.
too different. Like, if anything, their duration felt a bit lower.
Those funny
maybe.
looking drones. Is it? I think it is Ellis. It sounded like they were saying Illis, but I assume it's Ellis because that's an actual name.
Depends whatever the thing is supposed to stand for. X. It's probably E is probably Expedite. Something or other.
Yeah, Expedite. Which
Because
is
that's what it is.
Which is
Yeah, which I mean, it's cool that like that is what you mine to get upgrades, right?
Mhm.
Like you're not actually there to make profit. That's not the goal. You're not actually there, mining to meet a quota. You're there to, claim the place, which you can only do if you're strong enough to do it, and you can only get strong enough to upgrade yourself within the mines. But also, they still want Expedite, so they're not going to give you it for free. It's probably in the thing. Like, there's an argument there. I don't know. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's like, but you just have to forget about Deep Rock. You just have to.
I have.
That's fine.
Like,
I feel like you. I don't see how you couldn't. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, I think I can definitely. I believed in this future before, but now I kind of know that I am way I'm gonna play Rogue Core more than Deep Rock forever, as long as it's playable. Like it is more up my alley than Deep Rock is. The simple fact of the matter.
I mean, a lot of elements of it are more up my alley as well. Especially like
what I've been asking for Deep Rock, like the kind of game I hoped it would mold itself into. It hasn't. It's gone somewhere else. Not that that's a bad thing, but it just means that now this game that is actually doing that. I wanted more in-depth perks. Better build creation, more flexible, utility, mobility tools, so on and so forth. This is what this is, and
yeah, it's good that they talked about live service or not, and they're just like, we're not going to do it.
We're just trying to make a game.
We're not going to do it. It's not going to be live service on purpose, right?
If we end up doing seasonal model, and they're like, "Whoa!"
I am very much so. I think I actually am in the boat of maybe not wanting to do seasons at all. I would not be opposed to no seasons.
I think
they don't have to.
I don't see why thinking about it, considering it took them until when did Deep Rock come out? At least in the way, shape, or form before 1.0, when it was out to 1.0. That was what, a year or 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, and then another year-ish until they actually did seasons.
Yeah, I know.
So Rogue Core probably won't have to worry about seasons until 2028 or 2027. So yeah, don't have to fucking think about that, to be honest with you, mate. The world's probably going to be ended by then. So least of concerns. Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
I wonder if Rogue Core is going to get Mate, bombs are coming down from the fucking sky, son. Don't be
The fog is coming.
thinking about that. Yeah, the fuck you on about? The fog's coming tomorrow.
You know, there'll be the creatures. And there are
these
the
are the creatures.
The creatures. Yeah. That's I mean that was the
That's the highlight for me.
That was the highlight, just objectively speaking.
Yeah.
The entire Roku segment obviously is, and I'm glad. Like, obviously, a big chunk of it, as far as like over time, was the Q&A, but they didn't really put a stopper on it. Really, they didn't hold back time wise. They weren't like, oh, it's 3 p.m. better stop. They just kind of just kept going, as they should.
It literally got dark out.
It did. It got because with where they are, it was dark at like 2 p.m. for them. Which is maybe that's why they had to make a game like it's just in darkness all the time, because they can't conceive of like light because they don't know what it is.
Weird how they're like happier up there though, even though they have less sun.
Yeah, because they're just better.
Yeah, they are.
Everything about their society is just better. They make better games, better food, better games, better pussy.
Yeah, although not that you would know that last one. Ayo. Punch you in the dick.
Not that you would know that last one. Ayo. Punch you in the dick.
Slobs on your mobs.
Anyway, I think might be time to wrap this up.
Us.
Don't yawn at the end. It's the worst time to yawn.
Oh, it's bedtime. Whenever you stop watching the videos, we go back to sleep, and we only wake up when the next video starts. That's. We're not actually real people, because you know how the internet isn't like real, right? It's all just a bunch of fake BS.
I love the
internet
theory because it's pretty much true. It's pretty much.
The thing is the dead internet theory has just as much value behind like dead people theory, which is just that like people are NPCs. They only ever have like the same scripts. They don't ever do or say anything special. So they do that in real life. How is it any different on the internet? So they're both equally possible.
Dead internet.
And the moral of the story is, thank you for watching this stream at Boxwatch Scoot and maybe one other person. Everyone else, screw you. Or if you're watching this VOD, then cheers. But you'd probably be better off watching the video that will come out this Saturday.
Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to that, because it's probably going to be better than us not talking for most of it, really.
Well, we sat down and shut up once they started yapping.
Not that we were yapping beforehand.
We were yapping a fair bit.
Maybe at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not when it was like spell rogue.
Yeah, it's because you literally like went the piss.
No, that was actually Dino Lords, believe it or not.
Oh my god, you're a scum.
I know. Anyway, let's get out of here.